Yeah, we'll take him. Oh, thank you.
And good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the Owensboro Sports Center, home of the Kentucky Mavericks, presented by the City of Owensboro. This afternoon's game is powered by allergy and asthma specialist, PCS Representative Dr. Lee S. Floor, Jr., MD, as the Kentucky Mavericks take on the Kentucky Enforcers. If you're looking for a fun activity for you and your family, then check out the City of Owensboro's Edge Ice Center. The Edge offers public skating hours year-round and is a great place to host your child's next birthday party, youth group outing, family get-together. Youth ice hockey, figure skating, and learn-to-skate classes are also available.
Yeah.
Conveniently located next to the Owensboro Sports Center, the Edge Ice Center is always the coolest place in town. Visit owensboroparks.org for more information or check them out on Facebook. Expert care close to home. That's One Health Orthopedics, with locations in Owensboro, Henderson, Madisonville, Greenville, and Beaver Dam. One Health Orthopedics, the official sports medicine provider of the Kentucky Mavericks. Does your fitness routine need a boost? Rogue Boot Camp is the ultimate total body workout. Challenge yourself like never before. Go Rogue at the Owensboro Health Park, the official health and fitness partner of the Kentucky Mavericks. The City of Owensboro reminds you to visit owensborocenter.com to stay up to date on great upcoming events at the Owensboro Convention Center.
Ross, they had to just add him onto the Sky Chief, so I just marked it out.
Okay, cool. South Carolina, Florida's about it. Yeah, I see.
Don't let joint and muscle pain keep you on the sideline. Dr. Jody Mitchell can help you get back in the game. Sports injuries, work injuries, joint pain, or arthritis. Dr. Mitchell is ready to help.
Sorry, love you.
One Health Orthopedics is the official sports and medicine provider of the Kentucky Mavericks.
I mean, I knew it was going to be an issue once NCAA moved the games earlier for whatever reason.
Yeah.
I don't know what they were looking to prove or accomplish, but, you know. All right, let's see here. Hey, dude. Getting ready to go on here in a couple minutes. We're just getting our notes together, and we'll call you back in a little bit, just making sure that Florida-South Carolina game is over.
Universal Championship Wrestling presents Royal Resurrection, coming Saturday, April the 15th to the Owensboro
Yeah, you'll just
Sports
exit
Center.
out and you'll
Get
fire
your
all
tickets
that.
now online at owensborotickets.com.
Yeah. Thanks.
Yeah, I'll call you back in a couple minutes. Thanks, man. Bye.
I got started.
All right, let's go ahead. Kentucky Enforcer, right?
Yep.
WBHT is the Tri-State's most watched and trusted news, eyewitness news, everywhere you are.
Okay.
Marcus Thompson.
Okay.
And Jeff Robinson.
1027 The Game, ESPN Owensboro is your home for Mav Up with Coach T. The coach, Steve Tucker, head coach of the Kentucky Mavericks Coaches Show, has heard every Friday from 5:30 to 6 p.m. throughout the entire 2017 PBL season.
Jim Mazzola, Chris Hagan, Big G, Waddell, and Robert Crawford.
Not the Jet?
I guess they're going with Hagan instead of Jet.
Wow. And who was the last one?
Robert Crawford.
Wow.
The Holiday Inn Owensboro Riverfront is Owensboro's newest convention hotel, located downtown along the Ohio River. Being the only full-service hotel in Owensboro, Holiday Inn features another Broken Egg Cafe. Contact the sales department today at 270-683-1111 for more information on group room blocks and meeting space rental. Holiday Inn Owensboro Riverfront is a proud sponsor and neighbor to the Kentucky Mavericks Training Center. Go Mavs!
All right, Wild Man, you about ready to make the magic?
Yeah.
I don't know.
You can keep up with all upcoming events at the Owensboro Sports Center by liking us on Facebook and watch for the new
wait till it's
Owensboro
over so we
Sports
don't
Center
miss it out ahead of
website
time.
coming soon.
What app do you have for that? ESPN?
Watch March Madness, something like that.
Cool. Just pay for it?
No, you just log in with your cable provider.
Cool. That's why I couldn't get it, 'cause I got satellite.
Oh, really? There it is. That's game.
Game time? Over. South Carolina going to the Final Four.
That's what I'm saying. Kentucky is the toughest region, but if they get out of that region, they're looking all right.
Yeah, exactly.
Kansas got knocked off.
Game's over, so go ahead, exit out of that game screen and then just fire off Kentucky Mavs, and I'm listening on the radio, so I'll wait till my cue as soon as Jackson is done talking. All right, man, appreciate you. All right, buddy, appreciate it. All right, bye. Let's go, my man.
All right. Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Owensboro Sports Center. Kevin Porter, James Herzog, bringing you all the exciting action as our Kentucky Mavs play host to the Kentucky Enforcers. And we know a lot of you out there are caught up in March Madness. A big shout out to the NCAA for moving these games up earlier, James, to where we know Kentucky is playing right now. But I did get a lot of text from a lot of Kentucky Mavs fans who said they will be listening to us on the radio while watching Kentucky on TV. Hello, everyone. Kevin Porter, James Herzog, always honored to be here with you, the voices of Kentucky Mavs basketball. And, James, it's hard to believe. This is it, man.
Yep, last chance.
Last game of the regular season before we start playoffs next Sunday.
Exactly, last chance for the Mavs to tune up any mistakes that they've had these last few games after having a couple tough losses there, the Bootleggers and the Rage Sharks. Work out any kinks, as we know we had a couple new additions in Chris Hagan and Stan Simpson, so get them acclimated into this lineup and get raring for the playoffs.
I'm telling you, it's going to be a great game today, folks. We got plenty of room. No surprise there. We understand the Cats are playing North Carolina at the same time, but we still have a lot of room. And Mr. Mav, superfan, he's here dressed like, looks like Zeus. Yeah, Caesar or Zeus, the god of thunder. Something. He's going all Roman today.
Yeah, he always has a typical theme. I'm not really sure where he gets them from or what they have to do with. Maybe just off the top of his head. But it's good to see that some loyal Mavs fans came out here, and then, like you said, that have some loyal guys listening in on the radio, because we know that the UK game will be on at the same time, so it's good to see these guys out here.
And folks, do we have a great game in store for you today. Today is the final game of our Kentucky Mavs regular season, playing the Kentucky Enforcers. Now the Mavs had to go on the road Friday night to play the Chautauqua Hurricane, a team they beat last Sunday by 41, taking the 113-93 win. The Mavs move to 15-3 on the season, led by Nick Waddell. 26 points, 9 rebounds. Robert Crawford had 17 points. Chris Hagan had 15 in the victory, as well as dishing out 8 assists. Ben Bazzola and Corey Wilford. That's right, Christian County's very own Corey Wilford each scored 12 points in the victory. This is the final game of the regular season. Now, folks, we got a huge one on tap for you next week. My man, 97X Rock Jock Jordan Rose. We are putting together a huge 97X Rocks night next Sunday for the first playoff play-in game. It's a sudden death game on Sunday at 4 p.m. against the Ohio Bootleggers. Rockin' Round Ball Sunday, April the 2nd, as the Mavs at the Sports Center will play host to the Ohio Bootleggers. My man Jordan Rose is going to be on hand, as well as a big shout out to Jordan. He's back running the board for us today. We're short-staffed. He said, I'll fill in. It's just the kind of guy he is, James.
Yeah, and I've only known him just for a short period of time, just as long as I've gotten to know you, but you can tell that he's always willing to help out and lend that helping hand.
He is a good guy. Not only do we have a great matchup next Sunday, 4 p.m. right here at the Sports Center, as our Mavs play host a sudden death play-in game. Now the Mavs win that game, they move on to play the winner of the Rochester series, the best 2 out of 3. We will have that first game at home, which will be the 5th or 6th, right here at the Sports Center. That date yet to be solidified, but we'll let you know more as we go along. Not only is it 97X Rock Night, the reason why it is 97X Rock Night is because we're going to have local rockers Pick Your Poison. They will be playing live. That's right, Pick Your Poison fans. They will be on hand playing live before the game and during halftime. Here is the biggie. Here's why you've got to get here. You show up to this game, you have your opportunity to win 2 weekend passes, not 2 one-show passes, but 2 passes to 2 days of the best rock in the state of Kentucky, if not the tri-state. So you'll be able to show up and register for your chance to win. That's Louder Than Life, your opportunity to win 2 passes to Louder Than Life next Sunday, April the 2nd, halftime of our Mavs Ohio Bootleggers game right here. Now we'll also be giving away a drum head and cymbal signed by the likes of Shinedown, Cedar, and WWE superstars. So hey guys, be here next week and join your favorite Viking, Jordan Rose, and yours truly, Kevin Porter, as we rock the Kentucky Mavericks next Sunday's sudden death playoff play-in game as our Mavs host the Ohio Bootleggers. Now, our coverage, as it has been all season long, is being brought to you courtesy of our great friends at Shorts Heating and Cooling, the official sponsors of our Owensboro, Kentucky Mavericks radio broadcast, and home of the best price guarantee. Call them at 270-691-1001 to schedule a maintenance check today. Yours truly, Kevin Porter, my man James Herzog, here bringing you all the exciting action as our Mavs play host to the Kentucky Enforcers. We're going to take time out for a 3-minute commercial break, and when we come back, we're going to go over the starting lineups for today's matchup. After we remind you, you're listening to Kentucky Mavs basketball on 102.7 The Game. ESPN Owensboro. We'll be right back. rendition of our national anthem. Folks, welcome back to the Orange Bowl Sports Center. Kevin Porter, James Herzog going to bring you all the exciting action as our Kentucky Mavs play host to the Kentucky Enforcers. Our Mavs are going to be dressed in white with the blue trim down the side. Blue lettering. The Enforcers in medium blue. James, when you say gray lettering and black, white, and gray stripes down the side of their uniforms as well, and gray numbering. Today, starting for our Kentucky Mavs, Josh Johnson is not in the lineup as he is not dressed, nursing a mild injury there, James. So,
gotta have him healthy for the playoffs.
Yes, we do. If you got to sit a game, sit the last game of the regular season. That doesn't really count towards anything. For our Mavs, starting lineup: Ben Vizzola, Chris Hagan, former Mav called back up after Marcus Filial went to Puerto Rico to play professional. Big G, Gerard Devon, Nick Waddell, and Robert Crawford's back in the starting lineup.
Yeah, we'd like to have him out there, get the Mavs going on the defensive end to start the game and set the trend for the rest of the game. Our
Kentucky Mavs broadcast all season long are being sponsored by Schwartz Heating and Cooling, the official radio sponsors of our Kentucky Mavs and home with the best price guarantee. And one more time, folks, do not forget, next Sunday, April the 2nd, it's the Mavs and the Ohio Bootleggers sudden death playoff game right here, 4 p.m. at the Sports Center. 97X and 102.7 The Game are joining forces for Rock and Round Ball. Be here for your opportunity to win 2 weekend passes to Louder Than Life in the beautiful city of Louisville, Kentucky. All right, everybody's on the court. Looks like Big G, Gerard Devon's going to be jumping up against Jeff Robinson for the Kentucky Enforcers. Here comes the ref. The tip is up.
Oh, probably going to have a retip there.
You have a retip there. Big G was a little overzealous. Got that ball before he got out of the hands of the ref. The tip is up, and the Enforcers control the ball. Number 13, Marcus Thompson for the Enforcers, going left to right on your radio dial. Gets the high screen. Kicks it over to the left, back up to the top of the arc into number 5, David Mann. Over, back to number 13. Marcus Thompson's got Ben Vizzola on him. He's shutting him down pretty good. For 3, number 4, David Mann missed, rebounded, but ends up getting it back and tipping it to Jeff Robinson with the jam. Kentucky Enforcers first to strike in this contest.
Yeah, and that's tough. The Mavericks playing a great defensive possession. That's just one thing you got to do. You got to finish it all the way out to the rebound, and Robert Crawford didn't box out the shooter there, and of course it came right back to him.
Mavs going right to left. Vizzola answers with a 3. Mavs up 3-2, 11:15 remaining in the first quarter.
He's been playing great basketball and he's earned his spot in the starting lineup, and it'll be great to have him doing this going into the playoffs.
Enforcers, miscommunication. Ball stolen by Hagan, gets it down low to Robert Crawford. Underneath the goal, no shot out to Waddell. Waddell back to Crawford, top of the arc. Drives into the paint, kicks it back to Waddell. Tipped around a little bit, but Waddell doesn't regain control. He's in the paint, back over to Robert Crawford. Lower left corner for 3. Oh, that was pure, James. That was pure.
Yeah, the Mavs have really been shooting great here lately, and I like it. I mean, they're working the ball around. They're not taking shots early in the shot clock, and when that happens, it's easier to knock down those shots.
Back on the attack, going left to right as the Enforcers for 3. Number 25, Jeff Robinson answers, the former Xavier player we were talking about earlier, whose team just got eliminated this weekend.
Yeah, they had a tough out in the tournament, but it's a prestigious program, and to have a guy like that on their team, he's going to be pretty tough to handle.
Big G, Gerard Devon answers with a 2-pointer from the free throw line. Mavs leading by 3, 8-5, 10:09 remaining in the first quarter.
And I love how the Mavs always pick up full court whenever off of a make, because you never know how the other team's going to be operating out of bounds.
And talking to Coach Tucker when we did the Mav Up with Coach T radio show, he's got a specialty defense he's going to be implementing in this game, getting it ready for the postseason. Let's see how that works out. It ought to be a lot of fun. And as we were talking, number 1, Tyler Fangman for the Enforcers drives, will be going to the line for the and 1. Mavs leading 8-7, 9:49 on the clock in this yet early first quarter.
Yeah, and this Kentucky Enforcers team looks pretty tough. They got some good bigs and spread around with a couple shooters, and I know they're a team trying to work their way into the PBL, so that'd be nice to see them in there next year.
The Enforcers should be here next year. They're in the old ABA where our Mavs played, and just like that, free throw miss. Vizzola tried to go coast to coast, but it was blocked into the hands of Fangman. gets the ball across the timeline into the right wing of number 5. David Mann pulls up for the 2. Enforcers up by 1, 9-8, and these Enforcers are not backing down, James.
Exactly. Their season may be over in the ABA, but they're looking forward to next year and having some good competition against the Mavs, and they're showing that right now.
Down low, Big G goes up for the shot. It is blocked by number 13, Marcus Thompson for the Enforcers, who takes it across the timeline. Pulls up for 3 off the side of the rim. Rebound, Robert Crawford, but tipped out of his hands and knocked out of bounds by number 4, David Mann for the Kentucky Enforcers. Right now, Enforcers leading by 1, 9-8. 9:05 remaining in the first quarter.
Yeah, and they're showing a lot of hustle right now, going after some loose balls that the Mavs are kind of shying away from, and they're swarming them on the inside, getting several blocks early.
Vizzola with the dish down low to Waddell. Powers up after the fake. 10-9. Mavs leading by 1, 8:49 and counting in the first quarter.
And that's one thing that I love about his game. He's never in a rush. He always takes his time when he gets the ball down there, and that always makes for an easy bucket for him.
And Waddell has great court vision, too, which is an amazing thing. A miss by the Enforcers, rebounded by Crawford. Across the timeline, towards the top of the key, dumps it down low. Lower block into Big G, Gerard Devon, turns around, left-handed shot, missed. Waddell with the rebound, pulls it back out, but back to Big G up underneath the basket. Oh, it was in!
Can't do that.
Yeah, you can't do that. It was in the bucket, but number 25, Jeff Robertson, the former Xavier player, knocked it out. It still counts. Mavs leading by 3, 12-9.
Unless you play for Gonzaga, of course.
Unless you play for Gonzaga.
Against Northwestern in the tournament.
We remember that game. Oh, man, they're still talking about that.
That just goes to show how great these PBL refs are, right?
That's right, as opposed to certain ones in NCAA. Oh, and just like that, bad defense by the Mavs. Jeff Robinson takes it from the timeline all the way to the bucket for the jam. 12-11, Mavs leading by 1, 8:02 and counting in the first quarter.
I know this Enforcers team, speaking to their coach a little before the game, is short a couple players right now, so it'll be tough to handle the Mavs throughout this whole game with not having many players come off the bench, but they're hanging in there right now.
Vizzola for 3 missed. Big G went up. It slipped out of his hands. Down court ends up to number 13, back to 25, Robinson.
Oh.
And let me tell you, this Jeff Robinson, the former Xavier player, is giving the Mats fits down low right now.
Yeah, he's doing his thing, running the court, getting his hands on balls on defense, and Chris Hagan did all he could there with being the only man back on a fast break trying to take a charge, but unfortunately I think he was in that restricted area.
Robinson going to the line. Looks like the coach has seen enough. He's bringing in Stan Simpson, who just joined the team a couple weeks ago, fresh off of playing professional basketball in Greece. Robinson's free throw is up and missed. Mavs currently leading by 1, 12-11. 7:40 on the clock. Mavs going right to left on your radio dial. Conversely, the Enforcers left to right. And I'm not sure if the Mavs, James, were expecting this much competition from an ABA team who's had an off season and has lost probably 3 of their last 5 games coming into this contest.
Yeah, I mean, they were just coming in this game expecting to maybe have their way as they have with other teams, but the Enforcers putting up a fight right now, and I think that's good for the Mavericks to see some adversity before this playoffs as they get the steal right there.
Bad pass by Hagan, intercepted by number 4, David Mann, who takes it down for the fingertip roll. 14-12. The Enforcers regain the lead. We have a timeout on the court, but it's only a 20-second timeout. So we'll remain here with you. I think Coach Tucker, he's seen enough. He's going to have a talk with these guys and let them know you're playing too soft. These guys came to play. They're not going to give you this game. Keep your head in it. Yes, we already have our postseason position set, but you still want to finish the regular season on a good note.
Yeah, that's the game of basketball. It's not something that you can just turn on and off like a switch. I mean, only a few of the greats. I mean, obviously Michael Jordan and certain players like that could do that. But
there you go.
When you have a team, you got to be in the right frame of mind throughout the whole time. So they're going to have to pick it up.
Ben Vizzola walking by, he was staring me down. Did I say something offensive? I don't know.
I thought we were talking him up.
I did too. He was eyeballing me, but maybe it's just intensity.
I think he's just frustrated. Yeah.
Intensity in the game. Robert Crawford for 3, off the back of the rim. Stan Simpson almost with the rebound, fighting with Mann. Ball eventually bends up, back in the hands of Crawford, back into the lane to Simpson. But a foul is called on David Mann of the Enforcers for the block.
And I think Stan Simpson could be a key addition after the team let go Jackie Butler and brought in Stan. I've seen maybe a little bit of a lackadaisical manner in his play so far, but if he can pick that up, I think he'll be great.
Vizzola down the lane, off the back, missed. Rebounded into the hands of number 13, Marcus Thompson, across the timeline. Gets it back to that sharpshooter, David Mann. Back to Robinson, working around the arc are the enforcers. Number 24, DeMarco Foster, just into the lineup. Kicks it back over to number 22 for the enforcers. Robbie Smith missed defensive rebound.
And not even contesting the shot there by DeMarco Foster. He had, just all day to spot that up and knock it down off of the offensive rebound where the Mavs were nowhere to be found under the basket.
And just like that, the enforcers go up by 5, 17-12. Waddell tries to answer, and he does. 17-14, but Coach Tucker has seen enough. Coming up off the bench, Mike Crane, Anthony the Jet Jackson, and Corey Wilford. Looks like Coach is going to go to a smaller lineup.
Yeah, let's just hope he leaves Waddell in there. He's really doing his thing right now.
Him and Vizzola. Missed by the enforcers. Rebound by Crawford. Goes coast to coast. Fingertip roll. Mavs back within one, but they do not get back on defense. A full court pass to DeMarco Foster with the easy jam. Yes, we converted, but you cannot leave the man and give him an easy conversion.
Exactly. You got to, as soon as you see that ball go in, you got to sprint back to be on defense. I know the players like to jog back with the player that they're guarding, but everybody should sprint back and then pick them up when they cross half court.
Simpson for the 12-footer. Mavs back to 1 point, down 19-18, 5:38 and counting in this first quarter. Kentucky enforcers going left to right. Smith handling the ball, working against Vizzola. Gives it up to Marcus Thompson, working around the top of the arc. Back in the hands of that dangerous man, Jeff Robinson. Oh, in the lane. Blocked by Stan Sampson, who feeds it off head to Crawford for the jam. Mavs regain the lead, 20-19. I don't think Robinson was ready for Simpson yet.
I don't think so either. He's had his way so far right now, and then as Crawford gets in there, gets his hand on the ball for a block, so they're picking things up. I think Coach T got the message across in that last time out.
Mavs now up by 1, 20-19, and with that, it's time out on the court. We'll take time out for a 1-minute commercial break. After we remind you, you're listening to Kentucky Mavs basketball on 102.7 The Game. ESPN Owensboro will be right back. Welcome back to the Owensboro Sports Center, Mavs fans. Kevin Porter, James Herzog bringing you all the exciting action as our Mavs are actually in a battle we weren't expecting, James. Right now only leading by 1. 20-19 to the Kentucky Enforcers with 5:08 remaining in this contest. Looks like the Enforcers came to play because this is also their final game of the regular season as well.
Yeah, and it's not like we were counting out the Enforcers. We just know what we've seen from the Mavs, and we had nothing to go off of for the Enforcers, so we just expected a little bit better start, but this making its way into a good game.
Enforcers going left to right with the ball, working around the arc. Ball eventually ends up in the hands of Robinson from just beyond the free throw line. Missed. Rebound by Simpson. Into the hands of Anthony the Jet Jackson. Just inserted into the lineup with Mike Crane and Christian Counties. Corey Wilford as well as Andrew Christian as well was inserted. Wilford with the ball, pulls up just inside the arc. 4-2. There you go. Mavs 22-19. Looks like Corey came to play today.
Yeah, and I think that's one guy who's key to getting things going in this roster. The way he can shoot the ball, he can really provide a nice offensive spark.
The bad thing for the Mavs is they continue not to rotate on defense. Left wide open. Mitch McLeish with the two-pointer from 12 feet. Mavs answer right back as Wilford across the paint on the dish from Stan Simpson. 24-21, 4:13 remaining in the first quarter.
Yeah, it was a nice little give and go there they had, and that's one thing that this game provides. We see a roster out there that we haven't really seen play together so far this year, so that's what we can get out of this game as Christian tries to get a steal there.
Almost over, stolen by the Jet, gets it to Christian. Christian back to the Jet. Jet into the lane, goes in for the up and under, underneath miss. Rebound by Christian, blocked by Robinson. Ends up into the hands of number 20, Mitch McLeish.
And that's one, they got to convert on that. It looks like they didn't think that anybody was getting back for the Enforcers. They were kind of jogging up the court. You got to sprint on that fast break.
Number 24, DeMarco Foster for 3. Ties it up, 24 all, 3:32 and counting on this contest. And the non-rotation on the help defense is already hurting the Mavs, and we're only in the first quarter.
Yeah, and that's the second 3 there by DeMarco Foster. He's looked like he has a nice shot on him, so we'll have to make sure that we pressure him whenever he gets the ball.
Stan Simpson with a couple beautiful moves in the lane, and the little halfway sky hook does not go down, rattles out into the hands of the Enforcers. Back on the attack. Number 13 for the Enforcers, Marcus Thompson. Down low to Robinson, goes in for the shot, missed. Back up, blocked from behind by Christian. But Christian has been called for the foul. Robinson will be going to the line for 2.
And a rebound has got to be a team effort. I mean, we had guys standing out here just waiting for Christian to get the rebound, and you can't expect to have that rebound. There's got to be a team effort going in there, and then once they get that, finding the guard to bring it up the court.
Coach Tucker is still not happy with what he's seeing. Has called his second timeout, and with that, we're going to take timeout for a 1-minute commercial break. After we remind you, you're listening to Kentucky Mavs basketball on 102.7 The Game. ESPN Owensboro will be right back. Welcome back, Mavs fans. Kevin Porter, James Herzog bringing you all the exciting action as our Mavs are in a hard-fought contest. Right now locked up 24 apiece with the Kentucky Enforcers and 2:56 remaining in this first quarter, James.
Yeah, and Jeff Robinson to the line right now. He's been pretty troublesome for the Mavs. They can't really seem to find somebody to handle him, so it's going to have to come from the complete team effort, and hopefully they can get that right.
I tell you, if you're going to have a loss, you'd rather have it in the regular but not the postseason, but you want to finish out the regular season in style.
Yeah.
I know this is an opportunity for Coach Tucker to work on a couple different options and lineups, because he knows he's going to be seeing a lot of different things coming from a lot of different looks from the Ohio Bootleggers, and then should we win that game next Sunday, on towards the Rochester Razor Sharks.
Yeah, and I mean, obviously their teams are going to switch it up here in the playoffs, especially when you're playing against the Bootleggers, a team they've already faced 6 times. So they know what the Mavs, they think they know what the Mavs are going to have to throw at them, so they're going to be switching things up on them.
Mavs back on the attack. The Jet from the top of the key drives in, goes up for the layup, off the side. Rebound by Simpson to Christian. Christian misses the easy putback into the hands of number 24, DeMarco Foster. That guy that's been giving us fits along with Robinson and Thompson. Working on offense right now. Little miscoordination between the Kentucky Enforcer players. 2 players fighting for the ball. Jump ball called by the referee. Looks like Andrew Christian will be jumping against DeMarco Foster.
Yeah, I think that's the least amount of time I've seen them holding the ball to be called a jump ball. It looks like they both dove for it to tip it out of bounds, but Christian's been faring pretty well in these jump balls all season, so hopefully he can get this one.
Well, Christian's got some hops more than people realize. Oh, it goes up at number 24.
He wasn't even going for it. He was backing out.
He wasn't even going to try. Christian wins the tip into the hands of Mike Crane, the on-court coach. Works the ball across the timeline. Looks for the screen, waves it off. Over to Corey Wilford. Corey Wilford for 3. Off the back of the iron. Rebound by Christian. Fresh shot clock. Gets it into the hands of Mike Crane, who pulls up for 3. Thinks twice. Goes in the lane. Back to Christian. Up and under for 2. Mavs regain the lead. 25-05 and counting in this first quarter.
And that's a lost start there, and right now is that shot fake. He was, even though he was way out there, you wouldn't expect him to take that shot, but just giving that little look at the rim, he was able to get to the basket, and Christian, great job shielding the defender off with the rim.
Missed by the enforcers. Back on the other end, ends up eventually being put in by Corey Wilford. Mavs up by 3. 28-25, 141 remaining in the first quarter. Enforcers back on the attack, into the lineup, back into the lineup. Aaron Miller, number 5 for the Enforcers. Ball ends up down low to Robinson for the jam. Bad rotation one more time by the Mavs help defense, and that has cost them to the tune of at least 10 points in this first quarter.
Yeah, it's they're struggling right now on defense and as well as rebounding defensively. So that's one thing that they got to work out in this game, because you can't have that coming in playoff time against the Bootleggers.
1:21 remaining in the first quarter. Anthony the Jet gets the screen up high from Christian. Pulls it up just inside the three-point line for a two-pointer. Great to see the Jet have his touch already. Mavs up by 3, 30-27, 106 and counting in this first quarter of a Sunday afternoon contest. Answering back, number 24. DeMarco Foster missed, but ends up once again being rebounded by the Enforcers. Aaron Miller. Miller brings the ball out to the timeline, way out in the backcourt, looking for the high screen, number 1. Tyler Fangman up from the free throw line, missed, front of the iron. Christian gets it in the hands of Wilford across the timeline. He's going in against a much bigger Robinson, draws the foul, and I like the intensity.
Oh, yeah.
And you need to back off Robinson, because he has been giving us fits this entire first quarter.
Yeah, if the Mavs can get him in the foul trouble, that'd be huge, because I don't think the Enforcers have really anybody to substitute for him. And that was just great play by Wilford right there, getting up and shielding the ball away from him so that he couldn't get that block, as he has several already in this game.
And that's a lost start, using that right shoulder to hold off the defender so you can still get the shot up and at least draw the foul.
Exactly. Wilford missed the first there, but a lot of people like to go up and use that offhand, and they'll even get called for an offensive foul there. So to be able to use that shoulder, like you said, is a great play.
Wilford missed the first of 2. Mavs leading by 3, 30-27. 39.3 seconds remaining in this first quarter of an unexpectedly very hard-fought contest between our Mavs and the Enforcers. Now, they're called the Kentucky Enforcers, but they are actually out of Cincinnati.
Right, just like Northern Kentucky's
Boom.
University, and that's pretty much Cincinnati. So.
There you go. Back on the attack. From the corner, number 24 thanks twice. DeMarco Foster in the lane, tries to dish it out. And we've got a 3-second call on the Enforcers. Turnover back to the Mavs, leading by 4, 31-27, 28.2 seconds remaining in this first quarter. Folks, do not forget, next Sunday, April the 2nd, 4 p.m., 97X and 102.7 The Game are presenting Rock and Round Ball. Be here for your opportunity to win 2 weekend passes to Louder Than Life. The Viking Jordan Rose will be on hand. We got a lot of great things planned for you, folks, so do not miss next Sunday, 4 p.m. at the Owensboro Sports Center as our Mavs play host to the Ohio Bootleggers in a sudden death playoff. Mavs running down the clock, 4 seconds on the shot. The Jet pulls up for 3 off the iron. Missed.
Way to stay with it.
Back Stan Simpson. And with 1 second remaining in the first quarter,
resetting the clock there. Stan Simpson, heady play by realizing the difference in shot clock and game clock, and got himself an easy layup off the offensive board.
Mavs' largest lead of the game is 6, and we have that right now. 33-27, 1 second left. A baseball pass.
They didn't touch it.
But nobody touched it.
They're going to get the ball out under their own basket.
The Enforcers tried a baseball pass underneath the defense. It went all 90 feet. Nobody touched it. So the Mavs will have one last Hail Mary, but 1 second's enough to get a shot off.
Yeah, somebody set a good screen so he can get a shooter open and get a nice shot with 1.2 seconds.
Mike Crane to trigger the inbounds. Let's see what Coach Tucker has come up with. Mavs leading by 6, 1.2 seconds remaining on the contest. This is going to be a touch and shoot type of deal. Crane into Simpson.
He's been held all day.
And he was held. The foul will be called. And he will be going to the line, it looks like.
Yep.
Wow, that's kind of inexcusable, and our coach is not happy to see on the inbound you foul somebody and you give them 2 easy attempts at free throws.
Yeah, and they should have known that that was going to go to Simpson. Jeff Robinson's on the bench right now for him. The tallest man out there is 6'2" at most, so you got to be looking to just make sure Simpson didn't get that ball in there, and they unfortunately, we're holding him to try and do that.
0.6 of a tick on the clock. Stan Simpson at the line. It was fouled on the inbounds. Mavs leading by 6. 33-27, and we're still, and this is a lot more high scoring than I was expecting from both first quarter. But to see 6. And they put 1.2 back on the clock because the ball never was actually inbounded. Simpson was fouled. Exactly. So Simpson will be on the line, shooting 2 with the Mavs leading by 6. Should he convert on even one of these 2, that'll be the new largest lead of the game for our Kentucky Mavs. Simpson sizes it up, ball is up, and it's good. Great stroke by the big man.
Yeah, it's always good to have big men that can knock down the free throws, especially in close games. Once it comes to tournament time, that's always a key factor is free throw shooting.
I know watching the NCAAs over the weekend, there were a few big men that almost gave the game away, not being able to convert on their free throws.
Exactly.
The last couple of nights. Simpson has one more. Mavs' largest lead of the game was 7, 34-27. Simpson sizes it up. And it's good. 35-27, 1.2 ticks on the clock. Number 24, number 24, DeMarco Foster for the Enforcers. A Hail Mary almost went in. All right, folks, that's the end of one. Our Mavs leading by 8, 35-27. We're going to take time out for a 90-second commercial break. After we remind you, you're listening to Kentucky Mavs basketball on 102.7 The Game. ESPN Owensboro will be right back. Welcome back, Mavs fans. Kevin Porter, James Herzog bringing you all the exciting action as our Mavs are in an unexpectedly hard-fought contest against the Kentucky Enforcers, leading 35-27. Not bad, James, off of 51% shooting in the first quarter.
Yeah, they're shooting the ball well. What's causing this to be a close game? It's obviously the great shooting percentage as well by the Enforcers. I mean, Kentucky Mavericks are used to holding people under 40% on the season, so the Enforcers are putting up a fight right now with Jeff Robinson leading the way, 11 points. I mean, he's clearly their go-to guy, taking 9 shots when the next highest guy was only 5, who was Foster coming off the bench there. So
Mavs will have the ball inbounds going right to left on your radio dial, leading by 8, 35-27. Folks, remember, next Sunday, 4 p.m., it's 97X and 102.7 The Game presents Rock and Round Ball. Back to the action. Our coverage brought to you by Schwartz Heating and Cooling. Big G, Gerard Devon, back into the lineup, but he has it stripped out of his hands by number 13, Marcus Thompson. Ends up losing the ball. Andrew Christian controls it to Wilford. Works around the arc to the Jet. Tries to feed it back in to Big G in the paint, but it is knocked out of bounds by number 4 for the Enforcers, David Mann.
Yeah, when you have a pass like that, you typically, when you're passing into the post, it's either got to be a bounce pass or kind of a lob there to one hand, and he tried to throw a full-on chest pass, and that's why I got deflected.
Wilford into the Jet. Jet running the attack, working against number 24, DeMarco Foster. Over to Wilford, who thinks about 3, drives in the lane, goes in left-hand layup off the side of the iron, rebounded by Fangman for the Enforcers. Enforcers back across the timeline. Number 4, David Mann for 3 off the side of the arc, back into the hands of Fangman. Long cross-court pass. Ball eventually works up into the hands of number 5, Aaron Miller for the Enforcers. Working against Andrew Christian, pulls up for 3, missed. Rebound by Mike Crane, the on-court coach. What a great inlet pass. Back to Christian, back to the jet for three, missed. Big G almost had the rebound, but the hold by DeMarco Foster was missed by the referee. Foster eventually controls the ball, and Enforcers back on the attack. Number one, Fangman missed for three, gets his own rebound on that defensive board, James.
Yeah, they're doing a lot of ball watching out there right now. As soon as that shot goes up, you just see their head follow the ball, and then instead of putting their hand on their defender and trying to box them out, it's causing them to get a lot of rebounds. In this Enforcer team shooting a lot of long shots, a lot of three-pointers with all their guards out there, so long shots are going to be long rebounds.
A lot of missed shots by the Enforcers, but the strange part is that I'm not used to seeing is our bigs. For the Mavs are getting outmatched by much shorter guys that are causing a lot of disruption out there.
Yeah, just like we said, all these rebounds are long because they're taking all these three-pointers, and the Mavs are kind of having to run around the court there, and that's why these the shorter guards for the Enforcers are having the upper hand.
Kentucky Enforcers retain possession of the ball. Looks like Marcus Thompson to trigger the inbound. Gets it into the hands of Aaron Miller. Miller working around the arc. Number 24, DeMarco Foster waiting. Back loading two-pointer. Mavs up by 6, 35-29. Robert Crawford in the lane, goes in, converts, but he is called for the push-off.
And that's a tough call. I mean, he's obviously the bigger player there going against Fangman, but Fangman did a great job of selling that. He got a little bit of contact and tried to stumble back and make it look like it was a little bit more. But when you're going into a play like that, you just got to be careful not to extend that arm because that's what those refs are looking for.
Coach Tucker inserts Nick Waddell back into the lineup. Andrew Christian will be taking a seat. Enforcers back on the attack, leading by 6, 35-29, 9:58 remaining in the first half. Number one, Fangman starting to heat up for the Kentucky Enforcers on the three, 35-31.
Be a foul.
And once again, the Mavs are just not getting back even on the offense. It was Big G by himself in amongst three Enforcers. Does get the foul, but still, though, you've got to have help on each end.
Yeah, but at least he was running to the basket. Instead of just jogging up the court, he made sure he went straight to that basket, and that led to that entry pass.
Ben Vizzola working against a much shorter Enforcer. Pulls up for two. Oh, you got to love that fall-away jump shot by Ben Vizzola. Mavs up by 4, 35-37.
About 6'6" or 6'7", facing against these guards. He already has the upper hand in his shot, but to have that little bit of a fade on it as well, there's no way the guard can get a good contest on it.
From the left elbow, number 13, Marcus Thompson with the miss. Ben Vizzola saves it into Robert Crawford. Crawford pushes it across the timeline, into the paint, goes in uncontested. Easy right-handed lay-in. Mavs up by 8, 39-38, matching their largest lead of the game. And just like that, the Mavs not getting back on defense, and in order to stop an easy lay-in, Ben Vizzola had to give up the foul.
Yeah, they got to be careful to stop they got to be sure to stop the ball early. Once they get to the three-point line, it's kind of tough to do that.
And with that, we're going to take time out for a 1-minute commercial break. After we remind you, you're listening to Kentucky Mavs basketball on 102.7 The Game. ESPN Owensboro will be right back. Welcome back to the Owensboro Sports Center, where our Kentucky Mavs in a hard-fought contest are leading the Kentucky Enforcers by way of Cincinnati, Ohio, by 8, 39-31, 8:59 remaining in the first half of this contest. On the court for our Mavs, Ben Vizzola, Chris Hagan, Nick Waddell, Robert Crawford, and Big G Gerard Devine. Right before we went to break, A foul drawn by DeMarco Foster of the Enforcers. He is at the line, shooting 2.
Yeah, and he's really been the guy to push the initiative whenever Jeff Robinson, he's been on the bench really the remainder of this quarter, and the Mavs need to make sure they take advantage of that because he was giving them all kinds of fits when he was out there early.
First one missed. He has one more left. Mavs up by 8, 39-31.
Here we go. DeMarco Foster gets the ball, shooting his second free throw. It's up, and it's good, cutting the Mavs lead to 7 points as they lead now 39-32.
8:56 and counting on this contest as the Mavs play the Covington, Kentucky. Thanks to Gary Green for updating me there. Covington, Kentucky squad looking to come into the PBL next year. Crane for 3, the miss into the hands of number 13, Marcus Thompson. Works the ball across the timeline. Kentucky Enforcers going left to right on your radio dial. Conversely, the Mavs right to left. Number 5, Aaron Miller gives it up. Oh, and a foul on number 24, DeMarco Foster by Nick Waddell.
That's a 4-point play. And
yes, it is. 39-35, and going to have a chance to draw within 3 should he convert on the free throw.
And that's just unnecessary contact. I mean, you already had the contest, and the shot was already up, but it seemed like he just kept moving forwards towards the shooter, and Foster was smart enough to take that contact and fall down. Now, it might not have been a foul, but he forced the ref to call it.
Well, there's a lot of great actors in professional basketball. And the Viking Jordan Rose to give you a great first season against the Ohio, who draw within 38, 8:13 remaining.
An errant pass there by Chris Hagan. Thought that Crane was going to stick where he was, but Crane was rolling around like he should have there. So they're going to have to work this kinks out.
Waddell, the left-hander, missed into the hands of the Kentucky Enforcers. Fangman works it across the midcourt of the Covington, Kentucky squad. In the ABA, looking to join the PBL next season. Right now with control of the ball, Aaron Miller working the point. Ends up a pass between the legs of DeMarco Foster, out of bounds. Turnover back to the Mavs, leading by 1, 39-38, 7:37 remaining in the first half.
Yeah, those are always nice to have, those unforced turnovers where you don't really have to put in too much defensive effort and you get the ball back.
Mazzola with a beautiful move to the bucket, draws the foul, will be going to the line for the and one, putting the Mavs up 41-38, looking to go to 42-38 should he convert, and Mazzola is pumped.
Yeah, he always shows his energy, and that plays over into his game. He gets a couple shots under, or a big play like that, a nice and one, and that really sparks him, and that in turn gets the team going as well.
Now remember, folks, the Mavs will be back in action next Sunday, 4 p.m. right here at the Sports Center as the Mavs play host to the Ohio Bootleggers. That is a sudden death playoff play-in game. Should the Mavs win, they go on to play the winner of the other series, with Rochester being primarily the focus. So that could be one heck of a great postseason for our Mavs.
Yeah, it's playing out to be a nice playoffs with the solid 4 teams that have made their way up to the top of the league throughout this season. So it's going to be fun to watch.
4-3, number 1, Tyler Fayman converts, draws the Enforcers to within 1, 42-41, and just like that, Big G on a great pass by Mazzola enters right back before the Enforcers could get back on defense. But the Mavs do not get back, almost end up giving up a 3, missed. Rebounded by Mazzola, gets it to Chris Hagan, into the paint, dishes to, tried to oop it to G, but Big G was too far underneath. Rebounded into the hands of Mann for the Enforcers across the timeline. He says, all right, guys, let's slow it up. Let's run a good offensive play on this possession.
Yeah, and I think that favors their game a little bit, slow down the pace where they can look for nice threes.
And just inside the arc, number 5, Miller missed, rebounded into the hands of Chris Hagan, pushed it up. Should not have done that. Too many Enforcers in the area. Intercepted pass by Fangman, who draws the foul, looks like on Nick Waddell.
And he's really been giving the Mavs fits, that Fangman. He's knocked down several threes and getting out there on the defensive end and getting steals as well.
Well, you can't fault, Hagan for trying to make something happen. But he was trying to insert that pass into the middle of 3 defenders, and that was ill-advised, and that's what ended up causing the turnover. Tyler Fangman for the Enforcers will be triggering. No.
Give him a little rest.
Give him a little rest, taking him out into the contest. Robbie Smith for the Enforcers. 6:32 remaining in the first half. Mavs leading by 3, 44-41. Hard-fought contest against the ABA team, looking to become a PBL team and join the Mavs in this league next season.
Yeah, I think that'd be a great addition.
It would be a great addition.
And
a beautiful inlet pass ends up into the hands of Robbie Smith. Left-handed layup will be going to the line for one, which, should he convert, would draw the score even at 44 apiece with 6:20 remaining in the first half.
Yeah, and you got to remember they're doing all this with being short 2 players, so we'll see how long they can hang in it with this game. But as far as next season, them coming into the PBL, they're going to be a nice team.
Looks like Coach Tucker's seen enough. He's going to have the Jet come in for Chris Hagan after the next opportunity. Miss for the and one. Mavs leading by 1, 44-43, 6:14 remaining in the first half. Hagan working, looking to get the ball to Crane off the screen, waves it off, pulls up for 3 himself, off the back of the iron, taken away by that man. Jeff Robinson just reinserted into the lineup. That Xavier star really giving us fits on the court, almost stripped by Big G. Around to number 5, Aaron Miller for 3, off the side of the iron. Rebound, Mike Crane. 2 guys working against him, throws it off the Kentucky Enforcer. Good sportsmanship there. And we've got timeout on the court. And with that, we're going to take timeout for a 1-minute commercial break after we remind you you're listening to Kentucky Mavs basketball on 102.7 The Game. ESPN Owensboro will be right back. Welcome back, Mavs fans. Kevin Porter, James Herzog calling all the exciting action as our Mavs are in a very hard-fought contest against the Covington, Kentucky Enforcers. Up by 1, 44-43, 5:50 remaining in the first half of this contest on the court for the Mavs. Big G, Gerard Devon, Mike Crane, Ben Vazzola, Anthony the Jet Jackson, and Nick Waddell. And James, I do not think they were prepared for this much of intensity coming from the Enforcers.
Yeah, they must not have been. I mean, they probably heard that they were a couple players down and they had just been outed from their own league in the ABA, so they got more than they're expected for. But now, I mean, it's the second quarter. They know what they're up against. They really got to pick it up.
Mavs a little bit out of sync. Interception of the pass. Mitch McLeish for the Enforcers ends up into the hands of number 13, Marcus Thompson. Over to Aaron Miller. Drops it down low into that dangerous Jeff Robinson of Xavier. Turns it around. Missed. Rebound by Waddell. Anthony the Jet Jackson pushes it across midcourt to Mike Crane, who goes to the baseline. Thinks better of it. Looking for a screen. Nobody there. Pulls it back out. Resets the offense. Ball back into the hands of Anthony the Jet Jackson. High screen from Big G. Kicks it over to the right side of the arc to Waddell, who pulls up just inside the free throw line. Missed. Rebound by Big G, but he's fouled by number 25, Jeff Robinson, and will be going to the line. Good thing there, not a lot of help offense on the rebound, but you drew a foul against probably their most dangerous player.
Yeah, that offensive possession was a little out of sorts. Waddell forcing up a tough shot, but that's one good thing that I've seen out of Big G lately. He's really shown a lot of hustle, attacking the offensive glass, and even getting on, diving on the floor after loose balls.
Mike Crane to trigger the inbounds. Corey Wilford coming in for Ben Vazzola. Crane gets it into the hands of Big G, almost stripped, back to Crane. Crane looks for the screen, goes around it. Crane looking for another screen for Big G. Into the lane, down the right side, partially blocked by Robinson, but the putback by Gerard Devon will be going to the line for the and one. Mavs up 43, 4:43 remaining in the first half.
And that was a very heady play there on that pick and roll. Mike Crane and Big G working well together. Crane realized that they were coming over top of that screen there, so he was able to attack the lane, and he missed his layup, but Big G was right there on the follow.
Now, folks, we want to remind you, our Mavs have already secured their position in the postseason, and they'll be playing next Sunday, April the 2nd, 4 p.m., right here at the Sports Center against the Ohio Bootleggers. It is Rock and Round Ball night. Make sure you attend for your opportunity to win 2 weekend passes to Louder Than Life, the big rock concert in Louisville, Kentucky. Big G converts, Mavs up by 4, 47-43. Enforcers back on the attack. Number 13, Marcus Thompson drives, missed, rebounded into the hands of Mike Crane. Mike Crane then ends up getting knocked down by Thompson. Good sportsmanship there, helps him back up. It's all, you like to see that on the court. Play hard, but keep it clean.
Yeah, and I think that's what you come to expect from veteran players, such as Mike Crane himself and Marcus Thompson there for the Enforcers.
Now we got to remind everybody that for the Mavs, Josh Johnson is not dressed today, nursing an injury. He will be back in the lineup next Sunday. Mavs back on the attack. Chet look for the screen from Waddell. Ends up going around it into the hands of Corey Welford from the free throw line. Mavs up by 6, 49-43. Mavs largest lead of the game at 8, yet to be matched again. No, good passing by the Enforcers, giving Robinson multiple chances but cannot convert.
No.
And now it looks like Robinson may have hurt his ankle. He comes up a little gimpy after banging into Nick Waddell.
I didn't see that, but what I saw was Waddell trying to get the rebound, and whenever he went to squeeze it, lost it out on himself.
Enforcers retaining possession. Ball. Oh, nobody is there to defend number 22, Robbie Smith. He misses, gets his own, gets his own rebound with the putback. Mavs back on the attack. Corey Wilford on the right corner gets it into the roll right block. Back out to him from Big G. 3-point
shot.
Nice shot. Mavs up by 7. 52-45. 3:30 remaining in the first half.
And he's having himself a game. Had 7 quick points off the bench in that first quarter, and he's really been getting it going here in the second. So that's a good addition to have on your team to be able to bring some an offensive punch there off the bench.
And off of the miss, the Jet pushes it up court to Big G. Goes in. That's missed. Mike Crane into the lane, tries for the putback. A foul has been called against number 22, Robbie Smythe of the Kentucky Enforcers. Mike Crane will be going to the line for 2 shots.
Well, and that's just a great effort there. I mean, you expect nothing less out of the on-court coach there, Mike Crane. But just to crash the basket there against all the other bigs down there rebound, and he's the one that comes away with it, that shows a lot of heart that he has.
Should he convert, Mavs will match their largest lead of the game of 8, and he does. 53-45. 3:14 remaining in the first half of this hard-fought contest between the Kentucky Mavs and the Kentucky Enforcers. Now, the Enforcers, playing in the Mavs' old league of the ABA, look to join the PBL next season. Oh, and a miss on the second one, but the Mavs still up by 8. 53-45, 3:10, bring it around the paint, around the arc, into the hands of number 24, DeMarco Foster for 3, cutting the lead to 5. 53-48, the Jet from the left wing, working against number 22, Robbie Smythe. Gets the up-high screen, pulls up for 3, side of the iron, rebound into the hands of number 13, Marcus Thompson for the Enforcers. Across the timeline, pretty much unopposed through the lane, DeMarco Foster goes in, missed shot, but the ball ends up knocked out of bounds. Turnover to the Kentucky Mavericks and a timeout on the court. And with that, we're going to take timeout for a 1-minute commercial break after we remind you you're listening to Kentucky Mavs basketball on 102.7 The Game. ESPN Owensboro will be right back. Welcome back to the Owensboro Sports Center. Kevin Porter, James Herzog bringing you all the exciting action as our Kentucky Mavs play host to the Kentucky Enforcers in their final regular season matchup. Our coverage all season long has been and will continue to be brought to you by our great friends at Schwartz Heating and Cooling, the official sponsor of Kentucky Mavs radio broadcast. Call them today at 270-691-1001. Schwartz Heating and Cooling and Bryant doing whatever it takes to see the Kentucky Mavs take the Premier Basketball League championship. Welcome back, everyone, to the 2 minutes and 40 seconds remaining in the first half of this contest. Mavs up by 5. 53-48 going right to left on your radio dial. Mike Crane, Anthony Jackson, Nick Waddell, Gerard Devon, and Corey Wilford going with a much smaller lineup, James.
Yeah, to combat the small lineup there of the Enforcers. But they still have Waddell and Big G in there, so they can, as long as you have two bigs like that, I think they'll fare well.
Wilford into the lane, ends up drawing the foul after missing the shot up the underside of the backboard against number 13, Marcus Thompson, his second foul of the contest. Still in the contest, that man out of Xavier, Jeff Robinson, who's been giving us fits. But he has not. But his shots have been contested more so the second quarter than they were the first, when he was pretty much having his way down low against the Mavs defenders.
Yeah, he had 11 points there in that first quarter, and he was all of the Enforcers' offense there in the first. And after he had that little rest there coming into the second quarter, and since he's been back in, the Mavs have just been all over him, not giving him anything easy.
Wilford converts on 2. Mavs up by 7. 55-48. 2:18 remaining in the first half. Enforcers going left to right. A steal by the Jet. Against the much taller DeMarco Foster. Beautiful left-handed layup. Mavs, largest lead of the game of 9. 57-48. 2:02 remaining in this first half.
That's what I was just hoping for. They had just had the lead up to 8, and then the Enforcers brought it back down to 5, so I was hoping for a nice little run here to close out this half, going to the half up big.
Enforcers working around the arc. Missed shot by DeMarco Foster. Rebounded into the hands of Wilford for 3. And he goes in, gets his own rebound. Goes underneath the goal, kicks it back out to the Jet at the right wing. 2. Big G, top of the key, drives in, has it stripped, out of bounds. But possession remains with the Mavericks. Nope, they said it's a turnover. Turnover to the Kentucky Enforcers.
And the ref was, or the coach of the Enforcers there was in this ref's ear. Was pretty much the contributing factor to him reversing that call.
1 minute, 30 seconds remaining in the first half for 3. Number 22, Robbie Smythe missed. Rebounded by Corey Wilford, works it across the timeline, into the paint, and ends up drawing a foul without even taking a shot against Robbie Smythe.
Take what you can get when it comes to those fast breaks.
Mavs up by 9, their largest lead of the contest. 57-48, and we're still in the first half. I have a feeling we might hit the century mark again, James.
Yeah, it's looking like it so here in this first half, but we never know what the second half is going to bring after they get their halftime adjustment. So we'll just have to wait and see on that one.
And Coach told me when we recorded Mav Up with Coach T, the radio show, he's got a defensive scheme he's looking to insert today. We have yet to see it, so that's going to be interesting to see how that plays out. Wilford missed the first. Mavs leading 57-48, up by 9, looking to make a new largest lead of the game should he convert. And he does. Mavs up by 10. 58-48, 120 remaining in the first half. Enforcers trying to work the ball across the timeline. The much taller Robinson against the Jet almost gets the strip. They get it across the timeline. Ends up in the hands of number 24, DeMarco Foster. Puts a nice fake on the Mavs defender and goes in for the easy layup. The Jet pushing it full speed as he always does across the timeline. Pulls it all the way back out to the mid-court. 53 seconds remaining in the first half of this contest. The Jet going one-on-one with number 22, Smythe. Left-handed layup, missed, rebounded by Thompson. Thompson across the timeline. Left wing, back down the lane, number 22. Easy left-handed lay-in. Robbie Smythe, but beautiful body control there. Mike Crane down the baseline. Back in the lane, tries to get it into the middle of 3 defenders. Intercepted. Almost steals it right back from Foster. Down left-handed layup. Another uncontested layup. Marcus Thompson. And Coach Tucker, even with 25 seconds remaining in the first half, said, that's it. I am not putting up with none of my players getting back, and man, he is going at him over there.
Well, yeah, they were just up 9 with just a little over a minute to go, and now here we are sitting at 25 seconds, and it's a 4-point game. So to allow such a swing like that, especially going into halftime, that's just tough.
Yeah, giving up 4 quick points like that, the lead has been cut to 4. Mavs up 58-54, 25.6 seconds remaining in this contest. Now, folks, our coverage all season long has been and will continue to be brought to you by our great friends at Schwartz Heating and Cooling. Call them today at 270-691-1001 to schedule a maintenance check. Schwartz Heating and Cooling and Bryant, doing whatever it takes to see our Mavs take the Premier Basketball League Championship. Now remember, next Sunday, April the 2nd, 4 p.m., our Mavs are already in the playoffs, but they have a sudden death playoff game, 4 p.m., right here at the Sports Center against the Ohio Bootleggers. My man Jordan Rose and yours truly, Kevin Porter. We are going to put on a show next Sunday. Now, you better be in attendance because someone in attendance has the opportunity to win 2 passes to Louder Than Life. Gigantic 2-day rock festival in Louisville, Kentucky. And I know from my man Jordan, he's been the last couple of years, and we're talking bands the likes of Korn, Slipknot, great bands at this concert, but you got to be there to win tickets. All right, guys, 1 second difference between the shot clock and the game clock. Mavs up by 4, 58-54, 10 seconds on the shot clock. The Jet gets the high screen from Christian, almost trips, ends up eventually in the hands of Crane to Andrew Christian. Oh, he goes in, but it's swatted away, and as time expires, as time almost expired, Corey Wilford for the Hail Mary 3 puts the Mavs up 58-54 at the half. James, 61-54 at the half. James, a great hard-fought contest. Our Mavs are a little sluggish, but they're hanging in there.
Yep.
And they're fighting hard against the ABA team, the Kentucky Enforcers out of Covington, Kentucky, who they'll probably be seeing a lot next season in the PBL.
Oh, yeah, and the Enforcers are holding nothing back. I mean, their season in the ABA already over, so just having an extra game to get out here, and they really don't have anything to lose, so the Mavs out here have themselves a fight right now, but just keep about Wilford there to send them into the half.
Great way to finish off the half. A little out of whack by our Kentucky Mavs, a little disoriented, but that's okay. You know Coach Tucker, he'll get them refocused during halftime.
Definitely.
All right, folks, our coverage all season long is being brought to you courtesy of Schwartz Heating and Cooling. We're going to take time out for a 3-minute commercial break. And when we return, my man James is going to break down the first half stats as our Kentucky Mavs play host to Covington, Kentucky's Kentucky Enforcers. We'll be back in 3 minutes after we remind you you're listening to Kentucky Mavs basketball on 102.7 The Game. ESPN Owensboro. We'll be right back.
Welcome back, Mavs fans, to 102.7 The Game, ESPN Owensboro. You're listening to James Herzog right now, bringing you the halftime recap here at the Owensboro Sports Center. We got a great one in store today. At halftime right now, the Mavs are up 61-54 on the Kentucky Enforcers out of Covington, Kentucky. And the Kentucky Enforcers, if you're unfamiliar with that name, they are a team out of the ABA, but will be looking to join the Premier Basketball League next season. Could handle here in this first half. The Mavericks were able to come on top of that first quarter, 35-27, but came out a little lackadaisical there in that second, and the Enforcers were able to win that second quarter, 27-26, bringing us to that halftime score. Like I said, 61-54. And right now for the Mavs, it's been all Corey Wilford. He came off providing a huge offensive spark off the bench. 18 first half points right now on 6 of 9 shooting. And then, of course, you have others here trailing the way. Robert Crawford and Gerard Devon, both with 9. And Ben Vizzola, who's used to getting it going on the offensive end, with 8 points right now, only on 6 shots. So we can look to see more from them in the second half. And they're shooting 47% right now in that first half, so a little lower than their league average. We're used to seeing up more higher than 50%. And they're currently holding the Kentucky Enforcers to 42%. So really around that 40% mark that they're used to holding. It's just been a hard-fought game so far, and it's been all DeMarco Foster and Jeff Robinson for the Kentucky Enforcers. Jeff Robinson, as we know, as we've told you before, out of Xavier. He's been a tough player, came out early with 11 quick points in that first quarter. A little bit of struggle here in the second after he took a nice little break there, so he's shooting 4 of 13 right now. But then DeMarco Foster picked up right where he left off and rained in 4 threes there to give him 20 points. So we got a lot of great action here coming into this second half, so you're going to want to stay tuned. And I know you all are tuning into that UK game right now, but if you can, also tune in on the radio or get down here to the Sports Center, check out this Mavs game. It's a lot of great basketball. But right now, we're going to take a time out for a 3-minute commercial break. And when we come back, Kevin Porter and myself will give a little bit more of a recap here, sending us into the second half here, as we remind you that you're listening to 102.7 The Game, ESPN Owensboro. We'll be right back.
Welcome back to the Owensboro Sports Center, everyone. Kevin Porter, James Herzog bringing you all the exciting action as our Mavs are in a hard-fought duel with Covington, Kentucky's Kentucky Enforcers. Right now at the half, Mavs leading 61-54 off of 47% shooting, 42% shooting for the aforementioned Kentucky Enforcers. And from the three-point arc, great to see these kind of numbers. The Mavs leading, hitting 75%. Folks, our coverage is brought to you all season long by Schwartz Heating and Cooling, the official sponsor of our Kentucky Mavs radio broadcast. Call them today at 270-691-1001 to schedule a maintenance check today. I've been talking about it all game long. You've been hearing the commercials, and we're going to keep talking about it. Next Sunday, April the 2nd, 4 p.m. at the Sports Center, our Mavs play host a sudden death play-in game. It's also my man, the Viking, Jordan Rose, and yours truly, Kevin Porter. We have got a great day in store for you. Pick your poison, local rock band, and these guys are great. Great rock band. Pick Your Poison is going to be on hand playing at the pregame and at halftime. Now you have to be in attendance. Those that attend the game have the opportunity to win 2 weekend passes to Kentucky's biggest rock festival, Louder Than Life. That's a rock concert that has the likes of Korn, Slipknot, all of these great, big-time, internationally known rock bands will be on hand. Now, I can't guarantee they'll be on hand at that show, as Louder Than Life has not released their lineup as of yet. But just giving you a little bit of an idea of the caliber and the quality of rock bands that will be at Louder Than Life. You have to be right here at the Sports Center in attendance for your opportunity to win 2 passes. We're also going to be giving away a drumhead and cymbal signed by the likes of Shinedown, Seether, and WWE Superstars. That's next Sunday, April the 2nd, 4 p.m. at the Sports Center as our Mavs play host to the Ohio Bootleggers. Sudden death play-in game as the postseason begins for our Kentucky Mavs. 4 p.m. right here. It's rockin' round ball. All right, folks, we're about 2 minutes and 40 seconds away from the beginning of the second half. Our Mavs leading by 6, 61-54. We're going to take time out for a 2-minute commercial break, and when we come back, we'll bring you all the exciting action for the second half as our Mavs are playing host to the Kentucky Enforcers. That's 2 minutes after we remind you you're listening to Kentucky Mavs basketball on 102.7 The Game. ESPN Owensboro will be right back. Welcome back, Mavs fans, to the Owensboro Sports Center. Kevin Porter, James Herzog bringing you all the exciting action as our Mavs run a hard-fought contest against Covington, Kentucky's Kentucky Enforcers. Hopefully a member of the PBL next year, James. And right now the Mavs leading by 7, 61-54. And let's see what Tucker made. He has a special defense he's looking to go with.
Not in this quarter. Have his team get a little bit comfortable with it, and I'm assuming it's some kind of full court zone, maybe some kind of trap. So we'll see what he's got for us.
Well, he said when you see it, can really confound any opponent. So we're going to need that now because we start after today. We start the postseason.
Exactly, and it's against teams who, I mean, we've seen already this season. So when you get that kind of comfortability against an opposing team, you kind of got to switch things up to give them a new look.
Back to play. Mavs going left to right on the court. Hagan, Waddell, Crawford, Vizzola, Big G in the lineup for the Mavs. The Mavs working the ball down low to Waddell. Waddell turns around, faces up. Couple moves in the lane, right-handed lane. Oh, rattles out. Great move by Waddell, just did not get the kiss off the rim.
Yeah, and that was just, I mean, that's all Waddell. He realized he has that size advantage there in the post. Took his time like he usually does. It's just unfortunate for that one to bounce out.
Number 25, that man, Jeff Robinson out of Xavier with the 12-foot jump shot, missed. Rebound into the hands of the ball up. One more time, back into Waddell. Waddell thinks twice, comes back out, faces up, gives it over to Vizzola. Top of the arc to the right wing to Hagan. Back into the lane, left-handed, throws up a Hail Mary, missed. Rebounded by number 5, Aaron Miller for the Kentucky Enforcers, going right to left on your radio dial. Enforcers looking to be the first ones to strike blood in the second half. Number 13 for the Enforcers pulls up. Oh, beautiful.
Both of these rims right now are just not wanting the ball to go in. They're rolling all around them.
Thompson with a beautiful three-point shot, but it did not drop. Robert Crawford working against number 1. Fangman pulls up for the 14-footer. Got a two-pointer. Mavs up by 9. 63-54. 10:37 remaining in the third quarter. Mavs going left to right, right to left on your radio dial. Conversely, left to right for the Enforcers, or right to left for the Enforcers, left to right. I'll get it right one of these days.
You got it, yeah. And Aaron Miller there with a tough miss. He's really struggled today. Hadn't found the basket but one time. So it's really looking to go to other players right now.
Hagan for 3. Oh, missed the rim completely. Everybody's coming out a little colder.
Got to loosen back up here.
Yes, they do. Yes, they do. Enforcers back on the attack. Number 13, Thompson in the lane against Big G. Misses, gets his own rebound with the putback. Cuts the lead to 7. 63-56, 9:57. Ben Vizzola working against number 4. David Mann gets it across the timeline. Dishes off to Robert Crawford on the left wing. Crawford looking for 3. Front of the rim, missed. Rebound, Big G. Big G gets it into Waddell. It's knocked out of his hands by number 13, Marcus Thompson, out of bounds. Possession remains with the Mavs, but only 22 seconds on the shot clock.
Yeah, and that was a 3 Crawford had to take. I mean, the defender was almost daring him to take it. Crawford only with 1 3 this game, but as we've seen him here in these past few games, he can really light it up from out there. Ben
Vizzola looks to trigger the inbounds. Gets it into Hagan. Hagan pulls up for the 10-foot floater, and nice. Nice. Matching the Mavs' largest lead of the game of 9. 65-56, 9:30 remaining in the third quarter as our Mavs play host to the Enforcers out of Covington, Kentucky. Number 13, Marcus Thompson for 2. Missed from the free throw line, but rebounded by the Enforcers. Ends up in the hands of Robinson, goes in, draws the foul from Big G, Gerard Devon. He will be going to the line.
That was a tough call there. I mean, they did get the hustle playing on saving that inbounds pass and giving it into Robinson, but for a ref to call a foul all the way out from half court, you kind of got to wonder about that. But on the other end, Chris Hagan getting his first basket of the game. You like to see that. Hopefully that can turn things around for him offensively.
At the line for the Enforcers, number 25, Jeff Robinson will be shooting 2. First one's up and good. 65-57, Mavs up by 8, 9:16 remaining in the third quarter of this final game of the regular season. Now, there was a PBL team the Mavs were supposed to play. They dropped out because of a tough season, so they wanted to get one more game in. So there would not be almost a 9-day layoff between their final game of the season. Mavs back on the attack, going left to right. Crawford into the paint, gets the ball knocked out of his hands by number 4 David Mann.
And it looked like he really just
Lost control of the ball.
I mean, he really sold it, made it look like he got hit. So we'll see what the refs call after they confer here.
Yeah, having a little conference. When refs have conference, you never know what good may come of it. Looks like the Mavs retain possession. That's a good thing. Into the lineup, Stan Simpson for the Mavs. Big G Gerard Devon. He's been having a tough game. He's really having a hard time getting his rhythm going, but he is a workhorse. So you know you can never count out Big G. Vin Vazoa triggers the inbounds, and on the inbound, a foul was drawn as number 13 Marcus Thompson hit Hagan, knocked him 20 feet across the court.
Yeah, I missed that one. I mean, I know Hagan's a little guy, but I missed the contact, so I wasn't able to see what actually happened there.
Non-shooting foul. Well, hold on. The refs are still talking. Waddell standing at the free throw line. Yes, all they call it means you get one technical in this contest and retain possession to trigger the end. On the court for the Jet Jackson for Chris Hagan, Waddell, Crawford. We got Stan Simpson. Waddell triggers it in to the Jet for 3 off the front of the rim. Almost rebounded by Waddell, but Robinson grabs it, goes end to end, right-handed lay-in.
Step.
Unopposed. I saw about 3 steps there. That's right.
You're not used to seeing that from a big man, but he was able to run the floor there well.
The Jet working against number 5. Miller dishes it over to Vazola for 3. Beautiful way to answer. Mavs match their largest lead of the game, 69-60. 8:42 remaining in the third quarter.
And that one looked like it was going in the right as soon as it left his hand. Great rotation, up and down on the form, holding the follow through all the way through. So that was just a great shot.
Missed 3 by Robinson. Mavs back on the attack. Vazola looks to go end to end, and he does. Right-handed lay-in. Way to use that body. Great body control by Vazola, James.
Yeah, and we spoke a little bit on him the first time as well as in the halftime report that he can just get it going at any time. He only had 8 points there in the first half, which isn't bad, but we know how he can get going once he sees that ball go in, and he's got 2 quick buckets here.
Mavs, largest lead of the game of 11. Number 1, Fangman looking to answer with a 2. He jumps inside the line. It is a 2.
And that shot fake he has is just getting everybody.
It's beautiful.
It's not even like it's his normal shooting motion. He's just showing that ball way up in the air, and the guys are jumping at it right now.
Robert Crawford tried to answer with a nice little spin move in the lane, loses the ball. Kentucky Enforcers almost save it. Vazola with the strip. He tried to save it as well, but it will be a turnover back to the Kentucky Enforcers. Mavs leading by 9, 71-62, the largest lead of the game for the Mavs at the 8:18 mark of the third quarter, 71-60. And these Enforcers, I'm impressed with what I'm seeing on this court today.
Yeah, they're not backing down at all. As you see, a great 3 there by David Mann. They got several shooters out here surrounded by their big man, Jeff Robinson, so they got a nice makeup of a good team.
Bad passing by the Mavs one more time, and for 3, number 1, Fangman missed. The Mavs are just making ill-advised passes, are not looking ahead. Getting a little too soft with the handling of the ball.
Oh, my goodness.
Almost another steal from the right elbow, though it's saved into the hands of Robert Crawford. Thank goodness.
Got to have 2 points on that. They had a 4-on-1 fast break. You got to come away with something.
That was almost inexcusable to have a 4-on-1 and end up losing control of the ball and turning it over. Mavs up 73-65. 7:01 and counting in the third quarter. Kentucky Enforcers going right to left. And look at that move. David Mann has got some moves, and it's not like he's super fast. He just has great moves.
Yeah, great recognition, too, of the defense where they're at, and realized that Crawford wasn't ready for him there and just able to spin right to the bucket.
Vazola enters right back. Mavs up still by 8, 75-67, 6:39 remaining in this contest. The Mavs' final regular season home game playing the Kentucky Enforcers. This year of the the ABA, possibly of the PBL next year. The Jet giving Aaron Miller of the Enforcers all kinds of fits. He does get across the timeline, almost intercepted by Vazola, kicked by, who do they call it off of, Vazola?
Yeah, they called a foul on
the reach around on Ben Vazola. So that is his 3rd foul, and looks like, nope, coach is leaving him in. I thought he was bringing in a substitution for Vazola.
He was asking for one. He's a little winded right now. Been giving it his all, getting great on the offensive end, getting great shots, and then hustling all around. But coach says, no, we need you in there. You got to stay in there.
Mavs up by 8. Possession remains with the Enforcers. Ball ends up in the hands of number 13, Marcus Thompson. working against Nick Waddell. Drives into the lane. Right-handed lay-in. Missed, but the putback by that man, David, man.
He's doing it all right now for
He
him.
always seems to be at the right place at the right time. Cuts the lead to 6, 75-69. Mavs going left to right. The Jet dishes it down low to Vizzola, working against man. Looking to get in the lane to the free throw line. Stan Simpson working against Robinson. A couple spin moves,
Who's he
nothing.
passing to?
Tried to drop it down low to a Mav. There was nobody there. Out of bounds. Turnover to the Kentucky Enforcers. And with that, we're going to take time out for a 1-minute commercial break after we remind you you're listening to Kentucky Mavs basketball on 102.7 The Game. ESPN Owensboro will be right back. Welcome back, Mavs fans, to the Owensboro Sports Center. Kevin Porter, James Herzog bringing you all the exciting action as our Mavs are in a hard-fought contest with the Covington Kentuckies. Kentucky Enforcers, currently of the ABA, potentially of the PBL next year. 75-69, 6-point lead, 5:48 remaining in the third quarter. James, we have seen a ton of action today. Regrettably, our Mavs have never really gotten in sync. They're still just looked a little out of sync.
I know, right? I mean, they've gone on a couple runs here, but the Enforcers don't let them push that lead out, and they're really hanging around here. And with a team like that, with them only having 3 players coming off the bench right now, you kind of want to push the lead up, because if you let them hang around towards the end of the game, you never know what could happen.
Enforcers going right to left on your radio dial, back on the attack, ball down low into the hands of Aaron Miller, stripped by the Jet, picked up by Mike Crane. Crane will work against the aforementioned Miller across the timeline.
That was great defense there by Jackson, swatting at the ball.
Corey Wilford
exactly what he was
back
doing.
into the lineup. Stan Simpson, Nick Waddell goes baseline, kicks it back out to the top of the arc. Just inside for a 2-pointer by Crane, missed, rebounded by Jeff Robinson of the Enforcers. Enforcers down by 6, 5:11 remaining in the third quarter. Miller working with the ball, dishes it over to 24 to Marco Foster. Foster against Mike Crane, gets the up high screen, waves it off, pulls up just inside the key for the beautiful jump shot and converts on the 17-footer for 2, cutting the lead to 4. 75-71, 4:50 remaining in the third quarter.
Yeah, and the Mavs really can't let Foster get going. He led all scorers in that first half with 20 points.
Great putback by Stan Simpson off the miss by the Jet.
That was a great energy play. Let's hope it leads into some great defense here.
Oh, and driving, trying to go end-to-end. Marcus Thompson goes in against Nick Waddell. He draws his third foul. Looks like Waddell took an elbow to the face as well.
Yeah, a little errant hand there as Thompson was driving in, swinging his hand around. But, I mean, as I was saying with Marco Foster, I mean, 20 points in that first half. You got to make sure that you really contain him here in the second. As you can see, he can knock down tough shots, even if they're contested.
I tell you, David Mann, number 4 for the Enforcers. This guy has been having a game today. It's amazing. His moves aren't like lightning quick, but he is just getting the Mavs off their feet and converting left and right.
Yeah, he's just a smooth player, and he's really giving them a nice little help out here on the offense here in the second half with 8 straight quick points.
Thompson misses the first. He'll have one more attempt. Oh, bad shot. Hits the backboard offside of the iron into the hands of Stan Simpson. No harm, no foul. The Jet immediately pushing it up court. Now back to the top of the arc, looking to get it into the hands of Christian County's Corey Wilford, who pulls up for 3. Oh, rims out, rebounded by Simpson. Loses it, tripping over his own player, Waddell. Guys, we got to get back. It's 5-on-3. Missed. Rebound and put back by Aaron Miller. And the Mavs are just not getting back on defense after that miss. Yes, Simpson landed on Waddell, but you don't stand around thinking about it. You got to get back.
Yeah, Simpson came expecting to get that offensive rebound there, but came right down on Waddell. But like you said, instead of just sulking about it and maybe licking your wounds a little bit, just get back, and otherwise what'll just happen like it just did, they'll give up 2 easy points on the lay-in.
And coach has seen enough. He set Waddell down back into the lineup for the Mavs. Andrew Christian going with Anthony, the Jet Jackson, Corey Wilford, Stan Simpson, Andrew Christian, and Mike Crane on the court for our Mavs. In their final regular season game is Christian fakes for 3, drives down the right side of the lane. Oh, for the jam, partially blocked by Robinson. Rebound and a putback by Stan Simpson. Missed, but he will be going to the line.
I love when Christian gets all that energy. I mean, he came from the three-point line. It was almost like he was just wound up and then driving, let it all loose, and was flying to the rim there. He could have brought the house down.
And you know, 2 of the players on the Mavs team, Andrew Christian and Venezuela, these guys are like pretty much 38 to 40-inch vertical jumps they can sky.
They just come out of nowhere.
They do.
They have different ways about it. I mean, Vizola's so quick and so fast, and then Christian has so much power behind it. It almost looks like it's just building up, and then he just explodes.
Simpson misses on the first of 2. Mavs leading by 4, 77-73, 3:52 remaining in the third quarter. Our coverage all season long has been brought to you courtesy of Schwartz Heating and Cooling. And with that, Simpson misses both. Mavs holding on to the slim 4-point lead. Enforcers going right to left. Back on the attack, working around the arc, ends up in the hands of number 24, Foster. Kicks it way back out to number 5, Aaron Miller. Converts on the 3, cuts the lead to 1, 77-76. And in this last 3 minutes and 30 seconds of the third quarter, the Mavs have got to go on some kind of a run.
Yeah, and then as Wilford draws the foul there, that man, Aaron Miller, he hits that 3 right there. That's his first jump shot of the game that he's made, and it all started when he got that layup after Simpson fell on Waddell. All it takes is seeing it go in the hoop, and then he could figure out how to knock down those shots. So it all just works to the disadvantage there of the Mavs.
Corey Wilford for the free throw. He does convert. Mavs up 78-76. Big G, Gerard Devon back into the contest. Stan Simpson, 2 weeks removed from playing in Greece. I guess he didn't like olive oil, right?
I guess not. He didn't really settle well for him. As we see Mr. Mav over there dressed in some maybe ancient Greek attire.
To the ancient Greek attire. Yeah, that's right. He got tired of falafels and olive oil. He said, that's it. I'm going back to the States. I want some of that good old Kentucky barbecue.
Can't beat it.
Enforcers back on the attack, down by 3, 79-76. Number 20, I'm sorry, I pronounced his name wrong. Mitch McLeish. Ball ends up into the hands of Wilford with a left-handed lay-in for the Mavs. Mavs back up by 5, 81-76, 2:57 remaining in the third quarter.
And they have a great couple offensive possessions here with Wilford contributing a lot. They just need to string a couple stops together here as we're seeing to finish out this quarter.
Mavs, the strip by the Mavs ends up into Wilford's hands, gets it to Mike Crane, goes in the left side, lay in. There you go. That's the run we needed. Mavs up by 7, 83-76.
A great no-look pass there by Wilford. Just looked off the defender completely, and it is almost like they didn't even realize Mike Crane was open on that backside.
Number 5, Aaron Miller, just inside the three-point arc for the Enforcers. Hits the 18-foot jump shot. Did we get a foul call there? Or
I think we're going to timeout here.
Timeout. All right, folks, we're going to take timeout for a 1-minute commercial break. After we remind you, you're listening to Kentucky Mavs basketball on 102.7 The Game, ESPN Owensboro. We'll be right back. It's Kentucky Mavs basketball. Our Mavs playing host to the Kentucky Enforcers out of Covington, Kentucky. Right now leading by 5. A nice little 4-point spurt there by the Mavs, James, to regain the lead. 83, well, not losing it, but to extend the lead a little bit. Yeah. 83-78. Right now, the Mavs going left to right on your radio dial will have possession. Looks like Andrew Christian's going to trigger the ball inbounds to Anthony, the Jet Jackson.
Yeah, and it's good to see them really pick it up here as they're winding down in the third quarter, and let's just hope they keep it up out of a timeout and push this lead up and going into the fourth.
The Jet down the right side gets tied up, dishes to Christian, goes up, gets the foul, misses the bucket, but will be going to the line. Mavs leading by 5, 83-78. 2:13 remaining in this contest. Our coverage all season long is being brought to you courtesy of our great friends at Schwartz Heating and Cooling. Do not forget that next Sunday, our Mavs will begin their playoff run, a sudden death playoff matchup against the Ohio Bootleggers, and it's rockin' round ball night. My man, the Viking, Jordan Rose, will be on hand. And your opportunity, but you got to be here to win 2 weekend passes to Louder Than Life. That's next Sunday, April the 2nd, 4 p.m. as our Mavs play the Ohio Bootleggers in a sudden death playoff play-in game.
Yeah, there's going to be no shortage of entertainment that night. I mean, we have our playoff game against the Ohio Bootleggers. You know that's going to be a great matchup. And then, like you said, with it being the great event that it's going to be, Rockin' Round Ball, having the band here, and then to have the giveaway like that to go to that Rock Music Fest there in Louisville.
And it's not like going to just 2 concerts. It's going to 2 full days.
Exactly, full day passes. You can't beat that. Everybody's got to be here to try and win those.
Louder Than Life in Louisville, and I know my man Jordan, who's also working the board back in the studio. A shout out to him. He's been to it the last couple of years. He is like in rock and roll heaven when he goes to these events.
Oh, I bet. And like you said, I mean, you mentioned some of the names of the bands that
have been there before.
Right.
Yeah, we don't have the lineup yet, but bands like Korn and Slipknot have played at Louder Than Life in Louisville. Enforcers back on the attack, working the ball around the arc, ends up in the hands of number 5. Miller pulls up for 3 off the back, rebounded by Big G, Gerard Devon. 1:53 remaining in the third quarter. The Jet across the timeline, works into the lane, right-handed layup, blocked by number 24, DeMarco Foster.
Great take there by the Jet, but I mean, DeMarco Foster just leaped. Got a great first jump there to get that block, and I know the Jet's a little bit shorter, but he knows how to use his body there.
Well, he put a couple good moves on, but it wasn't enough to get Foster off of him. But Mavs retain possession, get the ball worked into Christian, and knocked out of bounds by number 20, McLeish.
And Christian shows that frustration on his face. I mean, it seems like he is the most fouled player that the fouls don't get called, and that frustration just builds up. It was good to see they finally called one for him to get those free throws.
The Jet in the right corner, working against number 13, Thompson. Down the baseline, kicks it to Big G down the right side, goes up, missed. Actually, it was a great putback by Christian, but does not count.
Right.
But Big G, Gerard Devon, will be going to the line for 2. Mavs leading by 6, 84-78. 1:35 remaining in this contest. Now, Kentucky Mavs fans listening to today's game, remember, at the conclusion of our game, we will rejoin the Elite 8 matchup between the Cats and the Tar Heels.
Big G missing his first one there. We've struggled here a little bit from the free throw line in the second half, not like the Mavs, and
no, not at all.
It'll be good to have these misses now because we won't want any of them coming into the game next Sunday.
Yeah, you can't afford to miss next week because Ohio has a great lockdown defense, and you miss, you don't get a second chance at it. The Enforcers back on the attack, going right to left. Ball across the timeline. Miller with possession of the ball, working against the Jet. Almost stripped. Almost stolen by Wilford. Back in the hands of Miller to the right, left lower corner to Foster. Down the baseline, knocked out of his hands. Still working it around the arc are the Enforcers. Ends up back in the hands of Miller, working against Big G down the left side of the lane. A floater missed. Rebound, Andrew Christian. Into the hands of the Jet. Pushes it up to Corey Wilford. Fakes the 3, steps inside, back out. Missed the second attempt, almost a putback by Christian, who was skying. Went over the top of 2 players. Number 20, McLeish for 3, missed. The Jet goes up fighting against number 22, Smythe. Knocked out of bounds. Possession remains with the Kentucky Enforcers.
Yeah, the third quarter really picking up the pace here as it winds down with 55 seconds left, but Mavs really picking up and locking in on the defensive end, and it's showing them well right now.
Mavs 85-78. Into the lane. Number 13, Thompson missed. Rebound. Big G, Gerard Devon gives it up to the Jet. The Jet across the timeline, all the way back against the midcourt line, waiting to run the play. Mavs got 4 men stretched across the baseline. Play is called. 2 block players move up. Jet to the left. Somewhat of a high screen. Kicks it back to the top of the arc to G. To the right side. Corey Wilford for 3. Oh! And as a shot clock expires, Christian County's own Corey Wilford for 3. Mavs' largest lead of the game of 10, but gives up an easy 2. And just like that, back to an 8-point lead, 88-80. 15 seconds remaining in the contest. Mavs will have the final shot of the third quarter. Shot clock has been turned off. Corey Wilford working against Miller, running a little time off. Down to 6 seconds. 5, 4, spins into lane, over to the right corner of the Jet. Jet pulls up for a Hail Mary 3. Oh, back of the iron. And then at the end of 3, our Mavs are leading by 8. 88-80 over the Kentucky Enforcers. Folks, we're going to take time out for a 90-second commercial break after we remind you you're listening to Kentucky Mavs basketball on 102.7 The Game. ESPN Owensboro will be right back. Welcome back to the Owensboro Sports Center, everyone. Kevin Porter, James Herzog bringing you all the exciting action as our Mavs are in a hard-fought contest against Covington, Kentucky's Kentucky Enforcers. And right now at the end of 3, and that was a very quick third quarter.
Flew by.
Mavs leading by 8, 88-80 on 45% shooting compared to 43% shooting by the Enforcers. Mavs won that quarter by only 1 point, though, 27-26.
Just a reverse there of that second quarter where the Enforcers won that one, 27-26, and they're really moving that ball around right now. 17 assists through 3 quarters when they only average 19 on a season, and that's good enough for second in the league.
At the start of the fourth quarter, the Enforcers with possession in the lane. Number 24, Foster, kicks it back out, ends up into the hands of number 20, McLeish, but knocked out of bounds by Andrew Christian. Andrew Christian does not get credit for how great of a defensive player he is.
Yeah, he moves well, moving his feet and making sure he doesn't get his hands on defenders. He's always moving his hands and getting deflections. So he's really, he's that high-energy guy that you gotta have on the defensive end.
6 seconds remaining on the shot clock for the Enforcers. McLeish to trigger the inbounds. Gets it in the hand. 24. Foster for 3. Side of the iron. Rebound by Big G. Gives it up to Anthony the Jet Jackson across the timeline. 11:32 remaining in this contest. Hagan, Jet, Andrew Christian, Big G, Gerard Devon, and Corey Crowder, both all 5 in the contest. Left-handed layup by Hagan, missed. Rebounded by McLeish. Gives it up to 24, Foster across the timeline, runs into Christian, almost loses control, maintains possession, kicks it over to Miller on the right wing, pulls up for 3, off the back of the iron. Rebound by Wilford. Mavs on the run out. They had the numbers momentarily, but now everybody's caught up. Wilford for 3, front of the iron. Oh, great swat by Christian to save possession of the ball. Kicks it out to Gerard Devon, over to the Jet. Jet on the left side of the arc, down low to Big G, working against number 13, Thompson. Spin move, gets tied up, tie up on the floor. There's a scrum. Who has the ball? Ends up into the hands of a Kentucky Enforcer player. I'm waiting to see the number.
I think it was Foster there.
I think it was Foster. And very heads-up play. He called timeout, so they got the possession, and did not have to do a jump ball. All right, we got timeout on the court. It's going to be a
20, I believe.
I believe it's 20, but we're waiting to see. Yes, it is a 22nd. All right. Mavs leading 88-80. 10:41 remaining in this contest. Folks, now remember, next Sunday, April the 2nd, 4 p.m., it's Rockin' Round Ball. That's right. Yours truly, and I thank him for calling me this, the sports guru, Kevin Porter, and the man, the Viking, Jordan Rose. We got a great show planned for you, folks. Jordan got his friends. Great rock band. Pick Your Poison is going to be playing live at the Sports Center during the pregame and at halftime. Those that attend next Sunday, April the 2nd's matchup, 4 p.m. tip-off, have the opportunity to win 2 weekend passes. That's all-day passes for 2 days to Louisville, Kentucky's Louder Than Life. Back to the action. Enforcers with the ball going right to left. Work across the timeline. 10:34 remaining in this contest. Number 13, Thompson, blocked after going in against Big G. Ends up in the hands of Christian. Christian gets the ball to Wilford across the timeline. Wilford into the paint. Right-handed layup, too strong. Almost a tip by Big G. Missed. Bobbled around. Christian retains possession. Hagan into the lane. Goes in. Right-handed layup on the left side. Ill-advised. Rebound by the Enforcers. Push up to Miller. Easy fingertip. He blows a fingertip roll. Rebounded by Crowder. 33, the man, the Jet, down low in the paint to Big G. He was wrapped up and still managed to throw the ball up in the air, so he'll be going to the line for 2.
Yeah, DeMarco Foster trapped underneath there by Big G. All he could hope to do was just hold on tight, and great play by Big G to power through and get a shot up so he can get some free throws out of it.
And I've been watching head coach Steve Tucker, his body language. He is frustrated because the Mavs show spurts and flashes of looking good, but other times they look just totally out of sync.
Yeah, and I mean, they gave up a turnover there, and Aaron Miller for the Enforcers had a wide-open layup, which should have been 2 points. Luckily, he missed that, but, I mean, you really got to get back on defense, and that's kind of been the only problem with today's game. They're not hustling back on defense. I don't know if they just have the lead and they don't feel like they're going to be able to concede that, but it's you can't pick up bad habits right now, especially going into the playoffs next week.
At the line for the Kentucky Mavs, looking to match the largest lead of the game of 10. Big G, Gerard Devon, Mavs leading by 8, 88-80. First one is up, and it's good. Mavs, 89-80. 9:58 remaining in this contest, playing these Kentucky Enforcers, and they have shown they deserve to be on the court with the Mavs, and that could be one heck of a matchup for the Mavs next year, should they go into the PBL. Missed shot by the Enforcers, tipped over to Crawford, back in the lineup to Wilford, heads into the paint, gets tied up, almost loses control. Crawford for 3 from the left wing, missed. Waddell got the rebound, stripped out of his hands by Foster, who's going to bring it across the timeline, working against the Jet down the left side of the lane. He just kind of threw it up, hoping to draw into foul. Rebounded by Crawford. Crawford going up against McLeish, right-handed lay-in, very nice. Mavs' largest lead of the game, 11. Now, matching their largest lead of the game, I said 10 earlier, I apologize. It's actually 11, 91-80. We will break the century mark, but it's going to be hard fought.
Yeah, and they've really been struggling to get that lead up this whole game, but I think that lack of depth here for the Enforcers really starting to wear on them as you see Wilford gets an open 3 there, even though he misses it. They're not showing as much energy as we saw earlier on in the game.
I think they're getting worn down because that is one thing about the Mavs. They can go 12 deep on that bench, and that's daunting for a team to try to match up to.
Yeah, especially when you're two players down like the Enforcers are. They've been hanging with them all game as they're still in this game, but we could really see the Mavs start to pull away here with an 11-point lead now, 8 minutes left.
Thompson down the left side of the lane draws the foul against Gerard Devon. Big G, his third. Looks like a timeout on the court. So with that, we're going to take timeout for a 1-minute commercial break after we remind you you're listening to Kentucky Mavs basketball on 102.7 The Game. ESPN Owensboro will be right back. Welcome back, Mavs fans, to the Owensboro Sports Center as our Kentucky Mavs play host to the Kentucky Enforcers. Right now, leading by 11, 91-80, 8:34 remaining in this contest. Now, believe me, we are up by 11, but this has been a hard-fought contest, James, and by no means have we had our way with the Enforcers. These guys have some serious talent. Like you said, they're down a couple players. Hopefully that's not two of their best players, because that could be scary
I know, right?
for the Mavs next season.
Yeah, I think it's just a couple more of the bigs that they have. As you see tonight, or today rather, it's only been Jeff Robinson, their only big man out there, and I think that those two bigs that they're missing will provide a nice little depth to be a good team. I hope we can see them in the Premier Basketball League next year. And
it looks like some of these guys on the court know each other, because Corey Wilford was over there talking to Robinson, the former Xavier player, and they apparently know each other. I like seeing that kind of friendliness on the court. Yeah, you play hard. Yeah, there's a lot of intensity, but still in the end, you know.
Yeah, it's basketball, and I mean, it's competition. That's what it's all about. And we see it here at the professional level, so it's at its finest.
Mavs leading by 11, 91-80 at the free throw line. Thompson for the Enforcers converts on the first, cutting the lead to 10, 91-81. Now remember, our Mavs will be back in action next Sunday, a sudden death playoff play-in game, and it's 97X and 102.7 The Game's Rockin' Round Ball night for your chance to win 2 tickets. 2 passes, weekend passes to Louder Than Life in Louisville. 8:26 remaining in this contest. The Jet with the feed down to Waddell, draws the foul off of Thompson. Tried to come around him, ended up catching him on the forearm.
Yeah, Marcus Thompson, I mean, he's got his work cut out for him down there with Waddell. While he hasn't had to him.
On the court for the Mavs. For the key to Waddell. Wilford, right wing, back to Waddell, faces up, works in the lane, spins around, dumps the
pass.
Oh, beautiful pass over the top of the defense, and the jam by Stan Simpson. Mavs regain the lead by 11, their largest lead of the contest, 93-82, almost a steal. And as number 25, Robinson was going up, Waddell thought he had the clean strip, but was called for the foul. That will be his 4th foul of the contest.
A great deflection there by Simpson. Unfortunately, Waddell didn't see the ball. He was trying to get back to his man Robinson, but I like that little duo that they have down there with Waddell and Simpson. They're working really well together, cutting to the basket, and Waddell drawing the other defender is able to find Simpson for that dunk on that last possession. It's really nice.
Well, it works well because last season both Waddell and Simpson played for the Lake Michigan Admirals.
Gotcha.
So they have a lot of familiarity, as well as Andrew Christian, all 3 of those players coming from the Lake Michigan Admirals off of last year's squad to our Kentucky Mavs. This season at the line, number 25 out of Xavier, Jeff Robinson, misses both free throws. Mavs still up by 11, 93-82, 7:52 remaining in this contest. The Jet, left wing, looking for a screen. He's going one-on-one solo against 24. He goes in against Foster, gets it off.
A late foul call here.
But a late one called, and it looks like on Foster. On Foster, his 5th foul, so right now he's living on borrowed time.
Yeah, and the Enforcers don't really have many options to bring it in. They have maybe Fangman's showed a little bit of a life there with his threes and shot fakes, but definitely not the player that Foster is, so he's going to have to be a little picky on how he plays his defense and then finishing out this 4th quarter.
Anthony the Jet Jackson at the line to establish a new largest margin of the contest for the Mavs, leading by 11 right now. Jet converts on 1 of 2. Mavs, largest lead of the contest, 12-94 to 82, 7:37 remaining in this contest. And just like that, number 24, DeMarco Foster, answers back, cutting the lead back to 10, 94-84, our Mavs leading over the Kentucky Enforcers.
Yeah, Foster's been everything for the Enforcers here in this second half, so it would be huge if the Mavs could draw his 6th foul and get him forced out.
Crawford with a beautiful move down the lane, the fingertip roll, converts back to a 12-point lead, 96-84, 7:07 remaining in this contest. Number 13, Thompson, working against Waddell, draws the foul from Waddell, will be going to the line.
Yeah, Waddell.
Well, no, he said 44, so it looks like they're calling it on Crawford.
That's tough because I thought he was actually the one that got the block there, and I thought they were going to call Waddell with his hands on the defender, but I guess they saw contact from Crawford coming in from behind there. I don't know.
At the line for the Kentucky Enforcers out of Covington, Kentucky, number 13, Marcus Thompson. First shot up, off the back, no good.
He's really been struggling today.
Everybody has been struggling from the line. That's surprising to see because our Mavs are pretty good at around 78% as a team average free throws.
Yeah, and they're shooting under, and our Mavs are shooting under 70%. And then you look at the Enforcers, and they're right around 46% on the game. So it's been a tough day at the line.
96-85, 6:55 remaining in this contest. Mavs looking to close out the regular season with the win. Waddell, lower block, working against Thompson. Great spin move. Oh, yeah. Great spin move from the 5 position, his normal position last year when he played with the Lake Michigan Admirals, so he's used to playing with his back to the goal. Number 4, David Mann for 3. Boom. Answers back. The Enforcers, 98-88.
Yeah, he's got a nice shot. We've seen him far on the post, having his man backed all the way under the basket. It's going to be 2 points for him.
Missed by the Mavericks. Trying to answer, missed on the 3 attempt by Miller for the Enforcers, but possession saved eventually into the hands of Thompson for the unopposed 3, but he is just having a hard time getting any shot to drop.
Yeah, he seems to be more their on-court leader / general running the team for them, but when it comes to his offense, his shot's been struggling.
Back onto the lineup for the Kentucky Mavs. Ben Vazzola on the court, Mr. High Energy. Right now the Mavs going with the Jet. Waddell, Crawford, Vazzola, and Stan Simpson. Just under 6 minutes remaining in this contest. One more time, back to Waddell. Working against Thompson, into the lane, goes in. Left-handed layup, does not convert, but will be going to the line for 2.
Got a timeout here.
And with that, these referees are slow with their signals today, unfortunately. It looks like it's a full timeout. Coach is not happy with the referees. He's giving them the what for. I can't believe I just said that.
I don't know. I mean, what?
The what for? I mean, how? I mean, that's like 1930s lingo. Sorry about that, listeners.
It's just coming out and you're coming back.
It's coming back in me. People didn't realize I'm actually 112 years old. All right, everybody, we'll take time out for a 1-minute commercial break after we remind you. You're listening to Kentucky Mavs basketball on 102.7 The Game. ESPN Owensboro will be right back. Welcome back, Mavs fans. Your Kentucky Mavs and our Kentucky Mavs. We all share the Kentucky Mavs, right, James?
Yeah, we do.
We were leading by 10, 98-88. 5:51 remaining in this contest. Mavs looking to close out the regular season with a win before they start their sudden death postseason matchup next Sunday, April the 2nd, 4 p.m. against the Ohio Bootleggers right here at the Sports Center. Waddell at the free throw line, looking to extend the lead to 11, and he does convert. Should he make the next one, that will match the largest lead of the game for our Mavs of 12.
And hit the century mark.
And hit the century mark.
All in one shot.
All in one shot. I'm giving it to him. What do you say?
Let's see it. I mean, it is Nick Waddell.
Yeah, but he's a great free throw shooter. That's a good. We know that for a fact. And he does rattle it home. And with that, the Mavs hit the century mark, 100-88, and also matching their largest lead of the game at the 5:49 mark of the fourth quarter. But they give up the easy transition bucket to Thompson. That will kill you in the postseason, James.
Yeah, I can't. I mean, you get the lead up there with the score, but you got to make sure you get back, and that's been the tale of the game all day for the Mavericks, just not getting back. I mean, it's almost like they just expect to jog back and have the Enforcers do the same, jogging up the court, but that's not what they're doing.
And a miss pass from Waddell as 24. Foster tries to oop it to 25. Robinson who loses it out of bounds. Turnover to the Kentucky Mavs.
And they got lucky there because, I mean, one thing that they're struggling with and not getting back is stopping the ball early. You always want to stop the ball before it gets to the three-point line because once they get in there, it's going to be tough.
And the Jet goes coast to coast, left-handed lay-in, unopposed, 5:05 mark, 102-90. Once again, that 12-point lead of the contest. And it has been Thompson for the Enforcers going toe-to-toe, nose-to-nose with Waddell for the last 2 minutes. That time, he got Waddell called for the foul. Nick Waddell's 5th of the game. 4:58 remaining in this contest. Kentucky Mavs leading 102-90. 4:58 remaining in the contest.
Yeah, Waddell's been getting the better of him in the post, but Thompson got a little bit upper hand on the speed and able to get to the basket. He just struggles with his shot, so obviously he's driving all the way to the basket.
It looks like Coach is trying to get Waddell some low post number 5 position work because normally he's had him at the 3 facing up. He's been doing him getting him into the 5 position, letting him work with his back a little bit because the ball has been clearing out and feeding it to Waddell primarily. Possessions. Yeah, and when he has advantage, so he'll be hesitant to feed it in there, but when he does, you got to get in the ball. 14-foot jump shot. Mavs up 104-92, 4:38 remaining in this contest.
Still looking for that new defense that we were talking about.
Yeah, we have not seen that yet. Earlier, I thought I saw a small flash, but that didn't last very long.
Yeah, I'm still looking for it. I mean, there is 4.5 minutes left. Maybe Coach is looking to get that guaranteed win out of the way first before he throws it out there, but we'll see.
This point on, the Mavericks will shoot the bonus.
Maybe he wasn't expecting this quite a close matchup as we were.
Absolutely. It's the Mavs, the Enforcers, both squads out of Kentucky, closing out the regular season for the Mavs. The high screen for the Jet from Waddell, kicks it back over to Simpson, top of the arc. Looks to get it low to Waddell, yet again working against Thompson. Spin move to the right, converts. Mavs, new largest lead of the game of 14, 106-92 at the 4:08 mark.
And just power through all the contact there to get that ball up. That was tough.
Thompson and Waddell once again going mano-a-mano, but the block
might have been on its way down there, Kevin.
But they said offensive goaltending. I tell you, if that was on the way down, it was literally about a half an inch past the mid part of the arc.
Yeah, it was close, but you could tell that it had made its way down, and Simpson thought he could get away with one there. I mean, he can get up there. He's a big guy, but the refs are on all over that.
3:56 remaining in this contest. Mavs back on the attack, going left to right on the radio dial. Vizzola, Waddell, Crawford, Simpson, and the Jet. Got the Jet down low, working against David Mann, who's been giving us fits offensively all day. Vizzola drives, missed shot, loses possession.
Off the
a beautiful way to knock it off of Aaron Miller. So they retain possession and get a fresh shot clock. Back into the contest, that man, Tyler Fangman, for the Kentucky Enforcers, who's got some seriously deceptive moves, though he just doesn't have that appearance of being that quick.
Yeah, he doesn't look like quite the athlete that you see his own all over the place tonight.
Left on your radio dial, back on the attack as time is running out on this contest. Missed into the hands of Simpson. Simpson's going to push it up across the time. Yes, he in the paint against Thompson. The Mavs are now enforcing their will.
Yeah, and Waddell's just too big down there for Marcus Thompson, and I don't think Marcus Thompson's had one break this whole game, so he's definitely been wearing down this whole game, guys, going against him.
We got a lot of one-on-one because there they are again. It's Thompson and Waddell has just fouled out of the contest.
Was that his 6th? Yep, I believe so.
That's his 6th. He is gone.
Well, he didn't have much of a first half, but he came on here in the second half, getting his game underway, and Thompson's just been exploiting him with his quickness and able to attack him all night.
We're going to take timeout for a whoop.
And for the Mavericks, Andrew Crispin.
Looked like they were calling for a time.
They are.
All right, they are now calling for a timeout on the court, and with that, we're going to take timeout for a 1-minute commercial break. After we remind you, you're listening to Kentucky Mavs basketball on 102.7 The Game. ESPN Owensboro will be right back. 2:43 remaining in our contest at the Owensboro Sports Center. Hello, everyone. Kevin Porter, James Herzog bringing you all the exciting action as our Mavs look to close out the regular season with a win against the Kentucky Enforcers. Now, this is actually a team, James, that the Mavs are a little familiar with because the Mavs were in the ABA. The Enforcers looking to come to, turn your mic up, that helps, doesn't it? Come to the PBL next season, so this is a team we're going to face potentially next year.
Yeah, and I think it really be a good matchup as we've seen this season with the Razor Sharks, our Mavericks, the Bootleggers, and the Jackals kind of separate themselves from the pack. I think this could be another one of those teams that comes in there and competes well. Once, assuming that their other two bigs that they don't have here today can compete with Rochester's bigs.
Out of the time, out at the line, number 13, Marcus Thompson converts on the first of two, cutting into that lead, knocking it down to 15, 110-95. Second shot is up, off the back of the iron, into the hands of Stan Simpson, gives it up to the Jet. On the court for the Mavs, the Jet, Stan Simpson, Andrew Christian, Robert Crawford, and Ben Vazzola. It's the Jet working against man of the Enforcers. Kicks it back out to Crawford for three. Oh, rattles out into the hands of Thompson.
Oh, watch out, Bubba.
Oh. We almost had a collision on the court. One of the kids that helps out here wiping up the court almost got ran down, trying to wipe up a wet spot on the court.
Yeah, Fangman hits the three there for the Enforcers, but that was just like one of the calls.
Against man. 1:56 remaining in this contest. Down the left side, it's that man Marcus Thompson who's been doing the workman's share for the Enforcers.
Yeah, he really has been taking the load, as you've seen Jeff Robinson kind of take a back seat, and even DeMarco Foster here is late, not been able to get his shot off, so it's been all Marcus Thompson on offense for the Enforcers.
And at this point of the game, we pretty much feel the Mavs are going to win, but this constant stoppage of play just keep kind of dragging it out. Now, the Enforcers don't agree with that. They think they believe they're going to come back. They're never going to give up, so they're not going to go away anytime soon. And this could be a really interesting matchup should the Mavs, they join the PBL next season and the Mavs have to face them multiple times. That could be pretty interesting.
Yeah, like we've said all day, this Enforcers team has surprised us for sure, and once they have their full team, they're going to be a tough matchup for anybody in the PBL if they do, in fact, come to the PBL next season.
1:38 remaining in the contest. Mavs working around the arc. Andrew Christian with the ball, pulls up for three, and
nice
converts.
Shot.
Beautiful shot. 115-100 for the Kentucky Mavs, leading with 1:32 remaining in this contest. Mavs should take this win, but it has been hard fought and a big rattle around by Foster. Converts on the two from the top of the key. 115. 102, and a long oop from the Jet to Robert Crawford. Beautiful oop across the defense. From the left elbow, 24, Foster misses, rebounded by Christian. 107 remaining in this contest. Mavs up by 14, 116-102. We're at the 1 minute mark, running time off the clock. Crawford feeds it low to Christian, turns around, two defenders in his face, tries to feed it back out, but does not, ends up throwing it away. Turnover back to the Kentucky Enforcers.
Saw that white that Mr. Mav, the fan over there, was wearing. I guess he thought he was one of the players, tried to kick it out to him.
He blends right in, doesn't he? He's just like looking at another Mav on the court, except he has gold trim and a gold leaf thing around his head.
Yeah.
So, 51 seconds remaining in the contest. 4-3. That man, David Mann, great touch from him. He's been giving us fits all game on the inbounds. Robert Crawford tied up. Looks like the foul called on Jeff Robinson. Mavs leading by 14, 116-102. 45.2 seconds remaining in this contest. I'm saying, we'll probably win this one, James.
Yep, and the Mavericks leading the PBL right now and scoring at 113 a game. You see them at 116 today, so above that average. Enforcers doing well with reaching the century mark as well, but I think they've had all the Mavs that they can have, and they'll probably pull this one out.
Robert Crawford at the line for the Mavs, looking to extend the lead to 15, and he does. 117-102, 45.2 seconds remaining in this contest at the beautiful Owensboro Sports Center. Now, we remind all of our listeners, as soon as we complete the game, do a post-game recap, and then talk to Coach Tucker, we will rejoin UK and North Carolina in a hard-fought contest. And James, I believe last
UK was up 1.
UK went back up.
4 minutes left, yep.
All righty. Enforcers back on the attack. Interception by Crawford. The runaway jam. Oh, yeah.
Showing out for the fans here.
Real showtime there.
Today.
Nice little 180 behind the head jam. Love that kind of activity. 33 seconds remaining. Mavs up by 18. Their largest lead of the game, 120 to 102.
Mazzola looking for the steal there, not there, but I think they're finishing this one out with 20 seconds remaining. Even though the ball went off Robert Crawford there, go back to the Enforcers.
Foster, who tried to convert on 3, that was missed. Out of bounds, 19.1 seconds remaining in the contest. This will be a great way after a sluggish start and kind of a sluggish middle for our Mavs. They held together, they kept their heads in it. 4 for 3. Man, that's missed. Rebound right back to Man. Tries again. Missed. Rebounded by Andrew Christian. 10 seconds remaining in the contest. Just get it across the timeline. And oop! To Simpson from Mazzola.
Putting on his show.
Oh, yeah. Up by 20. 122 to 102. The Mavs going out in style. And as time expires. Boom. For 3 points missed. Beautiful matchup between our Kentucky Mavs and the Kentucky Enforcers. Final score, 122-102. Kentucky Mavs close out the regular season with a big-time win over the Enforcers out of Covington, Kentucky. We're going to take time out for a 2-minute commercial break. When we return, we'll recap the post-game stats in this matchup. We'll have an interview with Coach Steve Tucker, then we'll get you right back to the UK Wildcats playing North Carolina in the Elite Eight. Time out for a 2-minute commercial break after we remind you you're listening to Kentucky Mavs basketball on 102.7 The Game. ESPN Owensboro will be right back.